Good morning, everybody. Welcome to the stream. Thank you guys for being here. I really appreciate y'all showing up. We are going to start off working on some professions. I don't think I'm going to make all of these. Let's check out tailoring. I do think I'm going to make all of these. Jason, David, Canon G. Good morning, guys. That's awesome, David. I really hope that it's a way just to, like, you know, do something productive for the character while letting people come into the stream, you know, realize that the stream is going on. Because I know YouTube isn't really great when I schedule it about notifying everybody. Even if you have notifications clicked, it doesn't always fire off. So, yeah, professions, I need to work more on them. This gives me kind of like a method to do that. And I'm much better at doing something when I, like, impose order on it very strictly. Then I'm much better about actually doing it. Jason, you died at level 8? Yeah, that was how I felt when I died at level 7, and that was how I felt when I died again at level 11. I was like, I guess I'm just a bad Warlock. Alex, Jackie, good morning to you guys. Rice, we're doing leatherworking. We're doing skinning for the leather, because we're gonna need some leather to make certain patterns. And beyond that, it's good to have it just to be able to sell it. Guys, let me know if any of my sound settings are weird today. My microphone disconnected from my PC at some point in the last couple days, and like, I did a recording in NVIDIA, and NVIDIA had defaulted over to my webcam mic. Like, I think everything is good, but yeah, all my settings, even like the hardware settings on the mic, were like reset. Everything was really weird. I've been struggling to get back to the audio the way I am used to it sounding. Patrick, good morning, man. Thanks for being here. Let's see. Do I want to spend any money making any actual things? I probably should. I should probably go out to where the tailoring trainer is at and kind of look at the patterns we could learn. Let's go do that. Yeah, right now, guys, I'm just going to work on professions for a little while. We're going to do some tailoring. I might head out and do some fishing so that we can do some cooking. And we'll just kind of ease into the day here. Holy Guyver, good morning, man. I do really feel like we've seen the last big waves of people that are gonna play on Bloodsail Buccaneers. Yeah, like, you know, a couple months ago, this place would have like 40 or 50 people in it right now. And I kind of hope that doesn't bode ill for, that's what I kind of worry about. I worry that, like, the gap between, like, what we're doing now and the official hardcore servers is going to be such a big and unknown gap that a lot of people are going to fall out of it. A lot of people are just going to fall out of the game mode. They're gonna go to regular classic era, or they're going to go do stuff in retail. That's kind of what I worry about like what's going on now. Simple dress. I can't preview it from it not being crafted. That kind of sucks. Sometimes whether or not it looks cool will be like the determining factor in whether or not I even want to make it. I don't know if we need to learn any of this stuff, actually. Well, I need a yellow pattern that's like easy to make. This doesn't even tell me the material cost. Yeah, I'm gonna try to learn the belt. Okay, good. There we go. That's what I wanted, a 1-to-1 ratio. Let's do that.
The living.
Are they all on PTR right now, Robert? I don't know, man. Do people play PTR? You know what I realized, though? I did figure out why some people play PTR, especially why they play retail PTR. After struggling horribly to figure out what a person's supposed to do, like, in retail endgame, what I realized was that people who play PTR, like, they're doing it right. Because they're playing the PTR, they're seeing each new feature as it's put in, so they know exactly where it is. They learn exactly how it works, how it functions, where to go to get the currencies, where to go to... They learn all this stuff on the PTR. And they do that, they give Blizzard that free labor so that when the game goes live, they're not lost like I was. So that when the game goes live, they don't have to watch a Bellular video like I had to do last night. You know, they do the PTR so that they see each new thing that comes into the game, and they're not surprised by anything they find once the game... So I figured out why people play on the retail PTR. I don't know why people would play on the hardcore PTR. That baffles me. You know, I thought this guy would sell us tailoring supplies, but he doesn't, and that's incredibly unfortunate. I don't know why I thought that. I thought this person would sell us some tailoring supplies, but no, she can't be bothered. I should have stocked up on thread back in town. Whitney, good morning. Brock, what made me pick this tune? I don't really remember. We were in the hinterlands. We were having a conversation about the Pally needing rested XP and how it would be great to have a Horde character to play in the meantime. And somehow I landed on the Warlock. A couple guys were playing Warlocks, and we were talking about Warlocks, and that's how we ended up here. Yeah, the Pally's alive. He just needs to get some rested XP. He's level 45, and it takes an incredibly long time to level up, especially without rested XP. Monica, good morning. Thanks for being here. Given the temporary nature of hardcore characters anyway, why not try the hardcore PTR? That's a fair point, Snowblitz. Yeah, that's a damn good argument. I don't know. For me, it feels less permanent, because like my thing is like I'm not going to get a character to 60 in the time it takes to have the PTR go on, and also there's not a lot to test. You know, if it was like if it was a season of WoW that had like some cool new stuff in it, like some different mechanics or something, then yeah, sure, I'd probably want to jump on there, I guess, you know. But it's exactly what I'm doing now, except I can't res. You know, there's a few other baked in things, but nothing that I feel like is like enough that needs to be really tested by me or by any player, really. But yeah, but that's a fair argument. With the likelihood of a character dying before 20, like, why not PTR? You know, why not? You're not wrong. Maybe there are a bunch of people there, you know. But hey, we could check it out at some point during the day. I have the PTR installed. So at some point we'll log in and we'll see if there's just a shit ton of people playing the PTR. Maybe that's absolutely what's happening. Yeah, we'll see. We'll find out. Now I'm probably not going to play on the PTR still, but we can log in to a couple of level 1 characters and just kind of see what the starting zones are like. The hardcore server PTR, Patrick, yeah. The Blizzard official hardcore server PTR has been up for a while now, and like so there's not a lot of people playing right now on Bloodsail Buccaneers, and maybe they're all on the PTR is the thought. Maybe they're all on the PTR.
What is it?
Is it true that rested XP is gained faster if your character is in a city instead of an inn? Holy Guyver, I don't know. I don't believe so. But if I found out after 20 years that was the case, I wouldn't exactly be surprised. There's lots about there's lots under the hood of WoW that like you can play for 20 years, and like if you don't go out of your way to learn it and you never get exposed to it, you don't look it up, you can be in the dark about it, and that for me that's one of those things. So my initial response is like I don't think so, because nothing visually changes about how your character is when they're resting, and I feel like if there was a difference, it would be reflected somehow in the game. But I don't know. What is this? Begins a quest.
Embrace the shadow.
Oh, I have not taken this quest. This is probably... Oh god, this is from Razor Hill. This is probably a great quest at this point, isn't it? Yeah, it's a completely great quest. That would have been great experience back at level 7. Oh boy. Chat, you let me down there. Alright, let's see, what do we want to do now? 60 out of 75 is not bad. This is still yellow. Okay.
What do you require? Dark Lady, watch over you.
I have exactly what you need.
Does the voiceover add-on still exist for Classic? I'm pretty sure it does. I haven't checked recently. But it came on accidentally at the start of this character, when we started this character up. Yeah, the voiceover add-on was working, even though I had it off. So yeah, I'm pretty sure it's still fine. It might need an update if you haven't used it for a while. Yeah, surprisingly they haven't gone after it yet. Maybe they kind of realize at this point, like, it's for classics, so it's like people want to hear the story, but like a lot of people aren't going to read it. A lot of people are not going to read it. People are going to be much more likely to listen to the quest, to learn about the world, to get engaged with it if there's voice acting. When I play games that are not World of Warcraft, I get incredibly frustrated when there's no voice acting in it, because like I honestly don't want to read it all. When I'm reading, I want to be reading books. And so yeah, I prefer things to be fully voice acted. So I'm glad they haven't touched the add-on yet.
Our time will come. Beware the living.
Like, it never used to bother me. It's funny, because, like, when I was younger, like, because I grew up, like, playing a bunch of, like, JRPGs and stuff, where, like, you had to read, you know? If you wanted to play Suikoden, you had to read 2,000 equivalent pages of text. Like, if you wanted to play Arc the Lad, same thing. Like, yeah, you had to read a lot. So, like, when voice acting first started to become prevalent, before it was good, I kind of hated voice acting in games. Because what it did for me is, like, initially, it ruined my own idea of what the characters should sound like. This was something I was really concerned with when I checked out Final Fantasy VII Remake. I watched Carnage's playthrough, and I was so worried because I had never seen any of the anime movies, so I had never I never had a voice for the characters except what was in my head. And yeah, Final Fantasy VII Remake, but they got it. They nailed the voices, and it was fine. But yeah, for a long time, I was opposed to voice acting in games because it ruined my own idea of what the characters should sound like. And eventually, at some point within the last decade, that totally flipped. You know, voice acting has gotten a lot better. It's gotten consistent where it's like, it's not just parts of the game that are voice acted, it's typically like all or nothing for a lot of games. And yeah, so now I prefer all games to just have voice acting in them. It makes it much easier to just want to relax and like get immersed in the game when you don't have to read it all. That's why you can't get into FF14 Snowbits. It's not all voice acted. You know, I think they've added it, and they've trimmed down the MSQ as much as they can. But yeah, for like the first 2 expansions, you're gonna do a lot of reading. For the first 2 expansions, and then even a lot into Stormblood, you're gonna do a lot of reading. I feel like by Stormblood, or even by like the patches for Heavensward, I feel like most of the really important stuff is voice acted. And I feel like if you were to just skip the stuff that wasn't voice acted, like yeah, you'd be missing some stuff, but it wouldn't be a lot, you know. Yeah, and you know, over time, 14 like, you know, fully voice acted, you know, basically fully voice acted by Shadowbringers. At least all the main stuff. Like I said, there's always those little scenes between characters that yeah, they don't voice act them, which is unfortunate. I feel like over time, especially with games like 14, like they will voice act more and more and more of like every little bit of the dialogue. Yeah, it's kind of why I never bothered to do a full MSQ of 14 on the channel. I've thought about it for years and years, like having a full playthrough of the MSQ. But honestly, as much as I don't mind reading, I didn't want to read out all those lines of dialogue from all those characters. I didn't want to do it. So yeah. And like I said, even knowing that eventually more of it would be voice acted, like the sheer amount that you have to read, even within A Realm Reborn and Heaven's Word, is just a lot of stuff. I came here to fish and I just got totally distracted talking about FF14. It's gonna be that kind of morning, guys. I literally came here looking for like fishing holes and stuff and just got completely distracted. Somebody reminded me we should look for the little fishing circles when we fish. That was that was my objective coming out here, if you believe that. I haven't seen any. I'm assuming we could find them here even in the starting area. Though I don't really know. I know next to nothing about fishing. We'll run around here just for a second and we'll see. If not, we'll just pick a spot to fish. No, so we got where we needed to be, but we just weren't super efficient about it. Yeah, I'm not seeing any like little fishing holes. Huh. Okay, well, that's fine. Let's throw fishing rod on. Yeah, they're like a little bonus. I was just hoping we could like find some wreckage maybe or something. Yeah, not a big deal either way. Alright, let's do a little bit of this. I probably should have bought like a bobble or whatever the little affixations are for the fishing rod. For anybody jumping into the stream recently, we're working on some professions for a little while. We're eventually going to do, you know, actual quests. But I've kind of been trying to open all the streams with some professions. Because professions are something that I struggle with, and I find that if I make something regimented and I say I'm going to do this at this time every time I do the next thing, if I handle things like that, then I can become very ordered and I can make sure that I'm consistent with it. But if I say, I'll do it when I have time, then I'll never do it. I'll never do it. So I'm practicing doing it at the beginning of the streams. I do like first person for fishing. Yeah, it stops me from worrying about the camera angle. It doesn't keep, like, when I do this, it doesn't like rotate my character when I click. So I'm digging the it's much easier to see. Digging the first person. First person while fishing. That's what we're gonna name the stream. Typically, I hate it. I've been okay with it. Now that it's in first person, I've been actually better with it. But yeah, fishing is not something that I am good at making myself do. It's like this. Like, I can't really drink my coffee right now because I have to be ready to click with my right hand, and I want to drink my coffee with my right hand. And on my left side, I have the mic arm. I can't drink my coffee with my left arm, and I could probably use my mouse with my left. But yeah, so for me, it's not a relaxing activity because, like, what I want to be doing while I'm fishing is I want to drink coffee. I have 3 seconds after the bobber bobbles to click the box, so I probably could drink a little bit, but it's anxiety ridden for me because at any moment I could have to make a click. You know, here it's, yeah, there it is, right? I couldn't pick up my mug. Gamer problems, yes. I'm having severe gamer problems. Miles, I appreciate that, man. You watched the retail VOD, it was, you know, I don't feel like I was put out by it. It was fine. Yeah, I hate dropping that many F-bombs, but with my experience, I kind of felt it was warranted. Yeah. Yep, man. Yeah. When I'm going about something though, I do come off very sarcastic and facetious. I realize that watching a little bit of the playback. But yeah, you know what? I spent a lot of yesterday playing retail, and I figured some things out. You know, I had to watch a Bellular video to figure out, like, I wanted to find where the story quests were. Like, they were supposed to be like the parallel timeline stories. And at some point I'd taken the quest to go talk to Chromie, but since the game didn't really tell me that that was what I was doing, I didn't really read it. Like, I didn't know, you know. Yeah, eventually I watched the Bellular video last night and I figured out some things about the stuff I could be doing, and I spent some time playing yesterday. I did a few of the time rifts, and I didn't hate it. The Ellis, thank you. I appreciate that. Thanks for being here. David, I'm sure it was rough to watch for a lot of people, especially people who have never seen one of my retail streams before, because that's typically how they go. Yeah, I figured some things out, and like, so the only problem I currently have with the rifts, besides the fact that they're on an hour cooldown, is that when we get to the big boss fight, and I don't know if anybody else has experienced this, there's so many people, there's so much ability lag, like I can't do anything. I just slam my heal button to like make sure I don't die during the fight. But like, there's so much ability, like I'm on Storm Rage and there's like 5 million people, and it's so many people. And so I really wanted to see like old Vari and Rin. I couldn't even zoom in close enough to see anything. It was just light and lag. But you know, besides that, if I was doing it with like a team of 5 or 10 people, I feel like they'd be a really fun experience. Like even the stuff where you're just running around the map, you know, fighting the guys, clicking the things. I feel like if you had a smaller group of people doing it, then I think it could be good content. I feel like on my server especially, there's just so many people. You don't ever feel like you're doing anything. Yeah, my guy just had to smile and wave. Yeah. I actually had to like walk away during one of the boss fights last night to help my wife with some grocery stuff, getting it out of the car, and like, I didn't really feel bad because I couldn't press my abilities anyway. You know, I came back dead and reincarnated it. It was fine. So yeah, right, so I figured some other things out. I found out where the story quests were at. I haven't really gotten into them yet, but I'm excited to see like the alternate timeline stuff with Chromie. And besides that, yeah, the hour cooldown sucks, because I'll tell you, I logged in 3 times at the hour on the hour to get those stupid rifts, and I was like, oh my god, even I'm logging in hourly sometimes. How is this affecting people who like play the game a lot? They probably feel compelled to log in all day long, you know? Snowblitz, thank you so much, man. I really appreciate that. Thank you for being here. Yeah, so yeah, I played a lot yesterday. I took the time to myself to play. You know, I figured like while I'm figuring stuff out and kind of struggling in the dark, it's probably better for people not to have to see that experience. I do feel like there was value in seeing my initial experience though, because a lot of people I think are in my position where they don't want to watch a video about how to play the patch before they play the patch. You know, they don't want to listen to Taliesin or Bellular tell them how to play the patch. They like to be able to log in and like and have the relevant stuff fronted to them, and they want, and some of like the older stuff kind of like not there anymore, so that it's not a distraction. And so I feel like having my initial reaction up without any research was fine, but then I realized that like the reason people play PTR in retail is so that week by week on the PTR you can see the new stuff they're putting in the game and you know where it's at. You know, it's like this week we're adding the Chromie quest. Oh cool, now I know to go to Eon's Fringe or whatever, and I know to talk to Chromie to do her quest. So yeah, I realized this is why people play PTR in retail, because they learn about what's going to be in the game before the patch drops. That way they're not lost on day one, you know? A few times the rift at the end would not let people in. Yeah, I had a couple scary ones where I was clicking that thing and it wasn't letting me in. I had another problem where like it wasn't letting me out. It wouldn't let me out. I was like, am I gonna have the hearth out of this rift? What happens then? Yeah, it's so laggy. It's just there's so many people doing it. I really wonder at stuff like that why they don't consider just limiting the instant size, you know, limiting the instant size, the layer size, whatever it is that's happening, separating it in some way so that at most maybe you're there with 50 guys. If I was running around that area with 50 other guys, the lag would be probably non-existent for me. If I was hitting a boss with 50 other guys, the lag would be non-existent for me. When I'm swinging on a boss and there's like a 7,000 people, my abilities don't go off. They go off server side, you know what I mean? Like, they go off server side. I don't get to see any of it happen. I don't get to see any of it happen, really. But yeah, so I hate it less after watching the video that I didn't want to have to watch. After doing the research I didn't want to have to do, after having the first initial experience like be like what it was, I've got a little grip on like what I would do if I was playing retail endgame solo. I kind of know some of the stuff that I would do now, that I'd probably enjoy, that would push my character forward. I was getting gear left and right. I did the fire rack thing, got a big upgrade for something, some shoulders. I did, I figured out how to do the fire rack event too, guys. I figured out in the fire rack event, I figured out just by like trial and error. But yeah, I figured out the currencies for the fire rack event, got some gear from that. So it's cool, like you can do stuff, you get pretty decent gear as a solo player, and I appreciated that. I've almost got enough for my second trinket, so I got the one trinket. I'm just saving it for the second one. I did get a trinket to drop off a boss, but I had my spec set to elemental to try to get some element. So the trinket that dropped only had intellect on it, whereas the one you buy off the vendor, it can swap between intellect and agility. Let's see, where am I at here? I'm not maxed out, am I? I'm not maxed out. Perfect. Joel, I have a man's voice? I mean, okay. I have a deeper voice, I guess, is what you're saying to me. Jason, the VOD would probably be fun. If you want to watch me suffer comically and unnecessarily, then watching that VOD probably wouldn't be the worst thing that happened to you. There's a lot of F-bombs, but they're directed at the game and not at human beings, so that's kind of where I draw the line with profanity. It's like I'll direct all the profanity in the world at inanimate objects, like a video game, but at least I'm not cursing at people. Yep, it was a struggle bus, but it kind of highlights some of the things that happen to people, I think, when they step away from a game, even when you step away within an expansion, because I beat the freaking base game of Dragonflight. Stepped away for a little bit. I didn't come back till 10.1. Didn't really know what was going on in 10.1 except to do the story stuff, which I'm still working through. Stepped away again for a couple weeks, came back in 10.15, and I still didn't know what to do. It's like, this has to be other people's experience too. So I feel like it's kind of valid. Granted, like I said, either being a person that plays on the PTR or just being a person that's completely willing to like watch a Bellular video where he tells you like the pertinent stuff to do. Like, you have to be willing to do one or the other to have like a more of a seamless time when you're getting back into the game. And it's like, Blizz does their feature videos where they'll tell you the features that are some of the features, and you have all the patch notes. You could read all the patch notes, but it's so much easier to have someone say, hey, here's the 3 new big things. To do big thing number 1, go here. To do big thing number 2, go here. To do big thing number 3, go here. It's like, that's so much easier than having to like wade through patch notes to find that kind of stuff. Yeah, I think it's a game that it's easy to feel left behind in. It's been that way to some extent for a long time. It's easy to feel like you get behind and you stay behind. That used to be more for like gear, like you get behind in your gear, you stay behind. But a lot of times now it's like your understanding of the things that you should be doing in the game gets behind. And then your character suffers as kind of a result of that. The game definitely wants you, and it does so much to keep engagement. The game obviously wants you to like keep playing it, to not really have a lapse in playing. And when you bounce off the way I did, and you start to learn how to play again, you're even more incentivized to keep playing, because you're like, okay, well, this was hard to figure out. Now that I got it figured out, I have to stay engaged. So it's almost like the confusing nature of it is a tactic to suck you in more once you do figure out the stuff you want to be doing. Because it's like you had to have the trauma of being completely lost and alone in the game and not having any clue what to do. Since you had that trauma and you got through it, you're more bonded with the game. So it's like the confusing nature is almost a tactic that gets people sucked in more if they stick long enough to figure out a way to play that makes them happy. Jason, it's comical suffering, so I'm not really suffering because I'm having a go at the game while I'm struggling, but yeah, not content for everybody, that's for sure. William, I appreciate that, man. Thanks for being here. I appreciate you stopping by. I keep hitting F6 to cast instead of F3. We've drank a bunch of unnecessary water. We'll do a little bit more, and then we'll go back and we'll cook all this stuff up, and then we'll get going. We'll start doing some actual quests. Soon. We have mainly the stuff back here in the Agamon Mills, it looks like. I don't see a lot else going on. Yeah, Dragonflight is good. That's the thing. That's part of what always frustrates me when I try to get into it and I can't, because like there's so much about the game that is really good. Yep. You just have to figure out how to play it. It's like anything else, but the way it is like the game doesn't do a good job of teaching you if you're a new player or a returning player. So you literally have to consult some outside guides, and you have to kind of be okay with that. Or you know conversely, like if you don't really know that there's like specific stuff you need to be doing, you could go around the map and just do the quest and do the world quest and go to the places of interest. Like you could play like that, but you'd have to be somebody who just was unaware of like the reality of MMOs being that like there's current content and there's old content. But if you just looked at all the content in Dragonflight with like an even keel, you just ran off and did any of it, you'd probably have an okay time. Did I watch the Hardcore Massacre 36 Deaths? No. I don't watch a lot of WoW content besides like, I watch some Bellular, some Asmongold just for news and stuff like that. Every once in a while, if I want to laugh, I'll watch Taliesin. But I don't really watch a lot of hardcore stuff specifically. I feel like a lot of that stuff is like purely for content sometimes. It's sad either way. I hate seeing hardcore characters get killed. Alex, you know how terrible I am at even opening Discord. I appreciate you though. It's awesome. And good morning. Lael, good morning, man. Thanks for being here. I appreciate that. No fish. I could have swore I heard it. I need to turn the sound effects up more when I'm fishing. That way I actually hear the bobble. I don't have to rely like strictly on seeing it every time. I'm doing well. I'm gonna drink all my coffee before we're done fishing. That's not gonna be good for me, but besides that. So wait, so how did they die? Was it it was in Nax? Whose fault was it? 36 people died, it was somebody's fault. Somebody did that. I think that's good. Let's head back to town and let's do some cooking. Let's unequip our fishing rod so that I don't play the rest of the episode with it. It was griefing during the... I'm gonna put it all together from different sources. It was griefing during the Four Horsemen fight. Oh man, yeah. That's the thing, is like, so you have to have, you know, you're trying to have a 40-person raid. Within 40 people, there's gonna be somebody who, like, the way they're gonna enjoy that the most is by getting everybody else killed. You can watch it from the griefer's point of view on Twitch. What the fuck? Ah, what an asshole. Oh man. You shouldn't be able to grief an entire raid of people and then have it on Twitch as content. He was undercover for a year. Like, yeah, you spend a year leveling up and you know that one day you're gonna get all of these people killed. Yeah, that's like, that guy has some spy fantasies, you know what I mean? Someone who does something like that, they have some deep-seated issues that are not addressed and are never gonna get addressed. Because that is a lot of commitment to get a lot of people's hardcore care. Like, think of all the time you cost them. Like, even if you valued, like, everybody's hour, like, every hour of every character, you value it at, like, USD minimum wage. You multiply $7 or $8 by 300. You multiply that by 36 people. Like, you can look at it a lot of ways, but like, you just effed people out of a lot of time and money. And some people really get off on that, so.
Speak quickly. Beware, our enemies abound.
Bloodmoon, good afternoon. Thanks for being here. William, you would think that griefing would be against anybody's rules to where they wouldn't want people to be able to make ad money off of griefing. So, because you don't want to create an environment where you encourage people to do that kind of shit, you know? Because in our culture, especially, you can get a lot of views by negative shit like that. But you don't want to create an environment where people can profit from it, you know? And I feel like if they allow it, that's what they're doing. 1 year of prep, gaining guild trust. He was their off tank and did 3 raids a week for 6 months. It's the deepest. It's the deepest con. It's the deepest of cons. Dude came straight from a nightmare. Yeah. He probably didn't have a very pleasant upbringing. I don't think you turn out to be that kind of person if you had like an okay childhood. Even remotely okay. Yeah, he is himself like a comic book villain almost, yeah. That's unreal. I feel like it's all for clicks, man. It's all for, I don't even know how much of it I would believe with it being like the whole year he planned it out. Like, it sounds good. It's such a good story. It's probably made up, you know. I feel like when things play out that well, when it's such a good story in real life, it's probably partially made up. David, the background music here is wacky. Yeah. I never noticed it till I was playing in Classic Era. Like how crazy the music gets in this tavern. Like Asmus says, content is king. Yeah, anything for clicks. It doesn't matter if it's reality or the truth or if it's negative, positive, anything for the clicks, I guess. It's what some people adhere to. It's a good question. It's a good question. I'll take a look at it because it should be there, but they changed the links recently. They used to be able to make a link that that did not expire. And my Discord is not locked down anyway. But they used to have a link for Discord that did not expire, and for some reason now I can only make a link that expires every 7 days. So I do need to take a look at where I have those links and make sure that they're actually accessible. I think I can get it back to a link that doesn't expire, but I have to take some steps. And I have to look and see what those are. In all honesty, like, I'm not a good Discord person, and I'm not a very good, not very good at engaging in forums where I have to use text to describe things or to say things. Because in my history, like when I used text to describe things, like it's often not taken the right way. So I'm not a big Discord person, unfortunately. Do you not get notifications whenever you go live anymore, Nikolai? YouTube hates my streams, and I do put up a, I do schedule the stream, usually like a half hour out at least, sometimes as much as an hour out. You know, I try not to like set it too far in advance, because sometimes things change, you know? So, I schedule the stream, and, you know, people who have clicked the bell even sometimes tell me that it doesn't alert them. I feel like you have to like go to my page, go to the live stream, see that the live stream is scheduled, and then click that. But if you've already gotten that far, then you know about it. But yeah, I'm just convinced that that YouTube just hates my streams, so I'm not surprised it's not showing them to you guys. Doesn't shock me. Yeah, see, some people say they get them fine. And other people say, hey, but YouTube is not showing me this no matter what I do. It might have to do with different devices. I'm not sure. I have no idea. I wish I did. I could probably try to schedule them more in advance, but the thing about me scheduling them more in advance is like, for me, like in my day, things can shift by like 15-minute intervals, whether like, is it lunchtime? Did we get through lunch? Is it, you know, so... Yeah, if I schedule them, always keep in mind, if I schedule something like a day out, it's the exact time is probably going to change.
No.
But I'll try to start scheduling them a day out. Maybe if I schedule them a day out, more of you guys will be able to see the notification. That could be good. All right, so we've cooked, we've fished, we've done tailoring. How long have we been at it? We have taken 42 minutes on professions, guys. This might be a new record for me. And now it's probably time to actually get into some combat. We have this guy back here. We have to go get this guy again. I want to get this one done. We already fought this guy yesterday thinking it was somebody else, and it's like it's a 3-pull back there. So let's go do that and see if we can do that today. And if we survive that one, we'll head over to the Agumon family crypt. And we'll just try to get that done too. I probably need to go back to Durator though, don't I? Nah, we lost this level 7 one anyway, so doesn't matter at this point. I wonder if I can train the next rank of fishing. What are we at? Probably not. We probably need to be at like 125 or something to train the next rank, I would guess. Henrik, you should see the retail Voidwalker. He's even more unnecessarily ripped for like an incorporeal entity made out of void. Like, I don't know how dude is hitting the gym so much when he's like technically like not even a physical entity, but he's doing it. But luckily I also have legs. That's the good thing. The camera adds like 10 pounds of muscle that doesn't exist. Just so you know. I'm 6'4", and I'm only 194 pounds, so I'm not that big. I did forget to skin the bats. I always forget that I can skin bats, period. Because to me, like, bats are not a thing that you skin. So I never skin bats, and right now I'm not in good habits. I don't have good habits for skinning because we spent 200 hours on the paladin. He didn't have skinning. So I just have a really bad skinning reflex right now. I'm going to leave all kinds of bodies behind. Yeah, I feel like there's always more that they could do in regard to that kind of stuff, but because they're a corporation, the way they see it is like if they can't somehow have a huge profit off of work like that, they're not going to put in the effort or the technology necessary to make it better, which sucks. Because you'd think that they just would. Yeah, you gotta appease the share, and when you're gonna do something new or you're gonna add something to your infrastructure, like, you have to convince people that it's going to be profitable. They hardly ever want to hear, "We're going to do this because it will be better for customers." Like, that can be the start of the sentence, but then there needs to be a comma, and then there needs to be the explanation of how it's also going to benefit the shareholders. So yeah. Did the paladin die? The paladin didn't die. That reminds me. I gotta pin a comment here. I gotta pin the comment that nobody's gonna see. There we go. We'll do that. We will pin this to the top where no one ever looks when they come into a chat, because when you come into a chat, you're looking at the bottom for like the most current messages. You're never looking at the top. But there we go. That is done. Yeah, we'll probably jump back on the paladin tomorrow. He should have a few days of rested experience now. Oh, Snow Blitz, yeah. Oh, I know it is. I spent my time in corporate America. Yep. I'm really shocked that the Friar didn't pull. I'm gonna let her be. We're gonna life tap a little bit, and then we're gonna drain life. I forgot we got drain life last time. What am I doing? I should be life tapping a lot more. Is this one is called life tap? Okay, so life tap, we tap life for mana. Mana tap, we tap mana for life. Yeah. Snowblitz, that's what I did, but I got really lucky to be able to do what I'm doing now and not have to go back, because if I were to go back for, you know, a typical career, it would definitely be working for a corporation, probably doing exactly what I was doing before. Which would be okay. What I was doing before is better than what like a lot of people have to do to make ends meet, but it's definitely not the place I wanted to be or the environment that I wanted to continue to be in. Red Robin, I'm glad you're digging it. I like the Warlock. It's still growing on me. You know, it hasn't had a lot of breathing room yet, so we'll see how it goes. I'm hoping we can live for a while at least. This pull right here is going to be interesting, what we have to do inside this tower. We'll see. We lived through it the first time, but I kind of like, I spazzed out. I'm not even sure why I lived. Like, I didn't have a real clear plan. It probably looked okay, but I was not mentally okay with what was going on because I wasn't really sure what I was doing. So we'll see if that happens again. I'm gonna life tap you. I should do this first. If I'm gonna drain life, I gotta get some mana back first. Yeah, I mean, this seems like it'll work. I do need to get all of my mana back, though. The Voidwalker is really tanky. The thing with the Voidwalker is I tend to get overconfident. Like, I need to pull her out. There we go. Oh yeah, it definitely is hard. Yeah, yeah. No, for doing what I do now, like I was a training developer, so I wrote courses for half the year, and then I taught other trainers how to go train those courses the rest of the year. And I make about half of what I made then, half of that I make now. But for my state of mind and my day-to-day life, it's much better. And I'm just lucky that I was able to take that hit, that we were able to absorb that. Careful with life tap. Careful as in, like, don't get too cocky about having life tap and, like, having, like, life drain. Like, don't tap myself down too much. Yeah. Yep. I could get myself killed here. No, I got out at a good time, Snowblitz. I got out during the pandemic, so like everything was already kind of in upheaval. That was when I made the choice not to go back to working in corporate America. It's like everything was already kind of like the Great Resignation had set in. So thankfully we were at a point where I was able to do that, and I didn't have to continue on in that field, working for like the same kinds of places. Yeah, I mean, that happens a lot. I think like people have to resign sometimes when they can do it for health reasons, you know. It's jobs are stressful. There's not in like the most of the stress that you feel in a job is about your performance and like about keeping the job. That's the shitty part. Is like if people did not have the stress of having to like keep their job, they would feel a lot better at work and they would perform a lot better at work. But since everything is uncertain, you have to cope with uncertainty every day, and somehow you have to cope with uncertainty while acting in a job as if you're going to be there forever. When you know that at any moment, like, shit could go sideways, you could just get let go. Here's our we haven't spent a lot of talents yet, to be fair. We're only through improved corruption. Alright, how do I want to approach this? These guys are level 8. He's level 12. It's probably fine. It was better than the first time when I like frantically ran from them and got really lucky and they happened to start dying. It was much better than that. So this was it, right? We just had to kill him, loot him, and now we're good. Okay. It really helps that they were severely under level us at this point. Thanks, man. I appreciate it. You know, we always lived kind of a downsized life. We were living downtown in an apartment in Kansas City. So like a lot of the things in life that you have to do to downsize, we'd already kind of done when we moved to Missouri from Michigan originally. So that was very helpful. Yeah, what I need to make sure is that I need to make sure when the Voidwalker goes in, he gets a tag on everybody. Like I kind of let the one guy just kind of run at me. I need to get better at having the Voidwalker like pick everything up and then giving him a minute. But I can't give him too long before I start stacking dots, because I'm not gonna. If I do that, I won't kill them before he's down. I'll figure it out, you know. I feel okay with it. Well, when I can kill 3 enemies like that, even with them being under level, and I don't feel like we're close to dying, then I feel okay with it, and hopefully I'll be able to just improve. I still don't know that like a pet class is really ever going to be for me. I'm really bad at pet management, and I don't enjoy having to worry about pets. That being said, in hardcore, a pet can be incredibly helpful. But when you're bad at handling your pet, it could be a liability in the sense that like you start to feel pretty strong, but there's going to come a situation where you have to manage the pet properly. Like, see when I got the hunter killed, when I got the hunter killed, I could have had the pet tag each of those guys. I could have told it to stay. I wouldn't have got frost nova'd, and the hunter probably would have lived if I had been better at managing the pet. And so yeah, I feel like if I die on this character, it is going to be in a situation where like better pet management could have saved me. Absolutely, because I'm not a very good pet class player. Ashwin, yeah, somebody else tried to tell me about the mouse wheel. I need my mouse wheel for my camera. They were like, how do you feel about not having your mouse wheel for your camera? And I said, I feel really bad. And I know I should probably just play out here and keep it zoomed out all the time, but like, I've spent 20 years like unconsciously adjusting my camera based on like where I'm at and what I'm doing. If I were to lose my scroll wheel, and if my scroll wheel started to do other stuff instead, I'd probably get effed over. Because there'd be about 10 hours where like I'd go to do this, and I'd be telling my pet to do stuff. And so that's why I can't do it. It sounds cool. Like, it sounds like a cool way to control the pet. For people that don't like habitually adjust their camera non-stop. Control, yeah, with my hands, I can hit control, but I can hit shift easily. That's why you see a lot of shift keys, because I can't quite get down to control and keep my hands on WASD where I want them. So that's just like a comfort thing. I could probably do it. It would be uncomfortable. So I'm gonna stick with the macro I got, and just like I'm gonna work with it how I can. I have a feeling I might want to turn in this quest. It would be a good idea. Let's turn it in before we head back out. Ashwin, all I have for talents is just improve corruption. We're going into the affliction tree. What do we want to grab next? Ooh, we could grab improved life tap. That sounds really juicy. I like it. I like improved drain life better though for like survivability. I think I'm gonna go here. Let's see, what else do we have? Improved drain soul. I don't really care, and we're not doing curse of weakness because we're not doing PvP.
What would you ask of death? Remember, patience, discipline.
Antonio, well, here's the thing about retail. I had a really rough stream, okay? And then what I did was I did what I didn't want to do. I watched the Bellular video, told me about the features of the patch. I did a little bit of research. I found out where a couple things were at. And yesterday I played retail by myself without streaming it, without recording it. I got on my shaman. I did like 3 or 4 of the rifts. I did some of the story content that I'm behind on. And after watching the Bellular vid, I found the content that I wanted to find, which was the Chromie quests that take you to the alternate like timeways where you get to see like a story play out. That's like a what if story. That was the stuff I really wanted to see, and for some reason I thought that the event was going to be like that, but the events weren't really that. And so finally I found Eon's Reach or whatever it's called. So yeah, I figured retail out more on my own. The stream was really rough. Because the stream is what happens to somebody who doesn't want to do the research, who just wants to get on and play a video game that they're semi-familiar with, but they can't because the game doesn't do a good job of like tutorializing you to where the new stuff's at. So you have a game full of like content, but like if you're just looking for the new stuff, the game doesn't do a good job of getting you into it. But I figured it out, and after playing yesterday, after doing a few of the rifts, after getting some gear from like random stuff that I was doing, after upgrading some gear, I kind of feel like I understand now what I would do solo play in retail. Will I ever really stream a lot of it or have it on the channel? I don't know. I'm gonna play it on my own in my free time in the evenings a little bit, just by myself, and I'm gonna see like if I start to feel good about it, If I'm feeling like positive about everything I'm doing, if I don't feel lost anymore, if I feel like I understand what's going on, then I might do some more retail streams and play some more retail. But I'm gonna give it a few days of like solo play, and see. I'm gonna get on tonight. I'm gonna do the Chromie timeline quest, like whatever she's got going on, the dailies or whatever they are. I've already missed 2 days of them because I did not know that the place even existed. So I'm gonna do some of her quests and see how I like that while waiting for like the event to pop while doing other world quests and just see how I feel about the game. The stream itself is probably has some comical value, and if you want to watch me just kind of floundering around, and I drop a lot of F-bombs unfortunately, but retail typically has the ability to get that reaction out of me. But yesterday I felt a lot better doing it on my own, and after doing what I didn't want to do, like I said, I watched a Bellular video that explained the features of the patch to me, so that I knew what the features of the patch were, so that they weren't lost in all the other stuff I have like in my quest log. I had actually taken the Chromie quest at some point to go like meet her out at Aeon's Reach or whatever the hell it's called. It's not called Aeon's Reach, I don't think. But I didn't know that because my quest log is so full of shit that I had no idea I'd even taken her quest. Yeah, Bellular's a smart guy. He typically explains things and lays things out in a way that I can easily comprehend what I'm supposed to do. And so I know I can rely on his content for stuff like that. I just hate having to do it. I think what I'm going to do in the future though is I might play on the retail PTR, so that I see the stuff they add to the game as they add it to the game, and so like when the content actually goes live, I know what I'm supposed to do and I don't feel completely lost. So yeah, we'll see when the 10.1.7 PTR goes up. I'm probably gonna try to check it out. I have to fight these guys to get back there, which is kind of annoying, but I don't have a choice. Yeah, the thing about me is like I need to learn everything for myself. Like I need it, even the struggling part of it, even the parts where I have to struggle and I have to get pissed off and then I have to go look at a guide or watch a video. Like I have to go through all of that. If I can get through all that, then like that trauma is gonna bind me to the game more, having gone through that learning experience. When people try to like just show me stuff and take me around, give me the tour, like I don't learn anything. I had a friend for a long time in real life who like would like basically take me through the game. You know, we'd quest together, and for a long time I never knew what the hell I was doing or why, because I was just following him around. It took playing on my own to really like figure things out. My opinion about the Activision Microsoft deal, yeah, it went through. It's great. I'm glad it's over. I don't really have a big opinion about it. Microsoft taking over can't hurt, and it might help something. We're not going to see any as gamers. As a gamer, not like a shareholder or employee, you're not going to see a big change because of this. You're just the consumer. When one company buys another, the biggest changes are going to happen for the employees and then for shareholders and stuff like that. As a consumer of the product, like you're going to see minimal changes over time. But nothing's going to be really obvious to you as the end user, you know? Babachar, yeah, simplicity in classic is you know, one of the best features for some of us. But also like what I realized, like playing so much classic, being away from retail so long, like I feel like I lost some of my ability to like think about greater systems in games. I don't know, like I've really been trying to like in my own time give retail a fair shake, because I know that a lot of the problem is with me. Like I have gotten used to simplicity, absolutely, and I think there's a big case to be made for making things as simple as possible. But when like leveling up in retail is simple, you know what I mean? Like that part of the game is still there. The simple part of WoW is still there. It's the leveling up process. It's just not as big of a part of the game as it used to be. And then so at endgame, since it's like you're not leveling anymore, they have to have all of these other systems for you to progress instead, because you're no longer gaining character levels, and those systems have just been added to over time. I'd like to see WoW Classic on the Game Pass. I think of any like substantial change you might see, that would be something you might see, like not even immediately, but like maybe in a year from now, maybe in 2 years from now, maybe we see Classic on the Game Pass. Tunerdale, yeah, I realized that like I think a lot of people engage with retail that way. I could easily be one of those people. Like, even after having a super frustrating night at endgame on the Shaman, I got up the next day and I really wanted to level the Void Elf Warlock. And so I did. And so, like, yeah, like, and I thought to myself, I'm like, well, maybe I'm just a person who likes to level characters in this game now. But then I said, well, no, like, maybe I could be more. And so I went and I looked up some stuff, you know. And I kept trying to engage, and I finally, after a few hours of yesterday, I finally got to a point where I said to myself, yeah, like, at least I know what I would do. If I wanted to play this game every day, like, I have a good idea of the stuff I could do. I have a good idea of the stuff that I find, like, cathartic, like, relaxing fun. And now I feel like, sure, like, I could play retail a little bit every day, and I could probably have an okay time. I now know the content to avoid. I now know how some of the content works that I didn't know a couple of days ago, and yeah. So, for you know, there was a few hours when I thought, well, maybe I'm just gonna level characters, and I still think that's largely true. I still think a lot of my experience, a lot of my playtime, and a lot of my enjoyment in retail is gonna be leveling a bunch of classes. Yeah, because what I realized about the Warlock is like, the Warlock is so different. Like, it feels like a Warlock still, which is the great thing about it. It feels like a WoW class. But it's very, very different and unique. And I'm like, there are probably so many specs in the game that I would find fun if I tried them out. And I think that a lot of people just, they experience retail that way. They just level up characters and try different classes and stuff. And also in retail now, you have so many places that you can level up. You can go anywhere. You can go anywhere in the old world. You can go into any of the expansions, like any zone you want. You can level up in it. So it gives you a lot of freedom. When that's the way you, how you want to enjoy the game, you have a lot of ways to enjoy it. Brock McMullen, thank you, man. I appreciate that. That's super generous of you. Thank you for being here and for hanging out. Yeah, like, you know, level in the Warlock, I'm thinking, like, well, what race class combination do I want to try next? Because it's fun just to level up in retail. You know, it doesn't take as long as Classic. It's like, it's a different experience, but it's still really enjoyable. It's still really enjoyable, and I like seeing the classes and how different they are these days. That's another thing, like, if you step away from the game for, like, an expansion or two, all of the classes are very different now. So much more different than, like, you know, you look at classes in Classic Era, then you look at them again in Wrath, and yeah, they're different, but a lot of them are pretty similar. There are a couple, like the Paladin, that change immensely. But from Classic Era to Wrath, like, a lot of the classes, like, seem kind of similar, you know? When you go from, like, just from Legion to where classes are at now, I feel like so many of them have had so many reworks. And so, like, if you're a person who played a few expansions ago, like, all the classes are going to feel pretty new to you in some way. At least one of their specs will feel probably completely new because there's probably been a rework. I'm assuming we're trying to get to the bottom of this place, right? Oh yeah, Dargol's Skull. Okay. I've just kind of been reflexively fighting. Reflexively fighting and zoning out while playing hardcore is probably not the way to go, but this is what the Warlock does to me. Because I don't see an enemy punching me in the face, like, I don't feel any threat. I don't feel any threat of duress when something's not hitting me in the face. Johnny, good afternoon, man. Thanks for being here. Here's a perfect example. Like, I shouldn't be pulling this, but, like, here we go. Our Voidwalker's doing good, so as long as he keeps aggro on, like, mainly everything, we'll be fine. I can drain tank one of these guys as long as I don't run out of mana completely. And there we go. Like, that should not have been a pull that we did. I couldn't even see the room, but thanks to the Voidwalker, I felt stupidly confident. It is a dangerous place, and yet I feel no fear. My apparatus for feeling fear about my character is broken, I think. Tunerdale, yeah, exactly, man. You know, that's kind of what I decided yesterday at one point before I watched that video. I said, you know what, I want to love the game, I want to play the game, I'm gonna have to do the unsavory thing, and I'm gonna have to admit that I can't figure it out. I'm gonna have to watch this video, I'm gonna have to look up coordinates for the place I can't find. Like, I'm gonna have to do this research. And I did it because I really love the game. I just worry... Yeah, I worry that, like, it must be really hard, especially as a new player. Like, what you had to look up and what you had to learn was probably, like, a lot more challenging than, like, me just looking up a place where the quests are at, or figuring out how a new currency works. And I didn't even really want to do that stuff. But yeah, I did it because I really want to keep engaging with the game. Like, and so, yeah, I've done it now. And so, like, if I keep playing every day, like, a little bit every day, I feel like that's what I have to do. Even if I just get on to do one of the rifts and just do a couple of world quests or do some of the story content that I want to see, I feel like that would be a good experience. But I'm gonna do that on my own for a while, and then when I'm like playing it and I'm feeling super positive about it, then maybe I'll start streaming it sometimes. I'm gonna do the looking for raid finder too. I know that there's like story and shit that happens in the raids, and I haven't seen any of the cinematics, so at some point it wants me to do raid finder. So at one point I'm gonna oblige the game. I'm gonna do raid finder and do that whole thing. I know it's not real raiding, but if I do it on Raid Finder and it's fun, maybe in the future I would do normal raids. This guy is where? Have you watched the Scarab Lord's video? No. Antonio, I haven't. I say this every once in a while. Like, I don't really watch a lot of classic content on YouTube. It's like, there are some things I watch. Like, occasionally I'll watch Bellular or Taliesin or Asmongold, but I don't really, beyond those guys, like, I don't really watch a lot of WoW coverage because I play the game so much that I don't really have a lot of, like, especially when it comes to people who are specifically content creators for Classic, I haven't really watched any of them, like Willy and those guys. Like, I don't watch their stuff. Nothing against them, I just don't really have time for it. And since I'm already playing the game so much, I'm not really driven to, like, look up to watch content about WoW Classic. It's why I don't see any of the hardcore drama that happens. I just don't connect with that part of the YouTubes. I'm sure some of the stuff is really good. Yeah, it's just about time. I have such a limited time to consume, like, YouTube videos. A lot of what I'll watch on YouTube, I like to watch stuff that, like, I'll never play, that I can't play. Like, if I'm gonna watch video game stuff on YouTube, like, that's typically how I have to spend my time. Like, I recently watched Ko basically play all of FF16. Like, I sped watched the end of FF16, but I watched, like, all the key cinematics and stuff. Because, like, that was a game I was never gonna play. I don't even own a PS5, so I literally can't play it. So, like, typically if I have, like, YouTube time that's just, like, downtime, I typically watch somebody play a game that I'm never gonna play. If I had more time, then yeah, there's all kinds of content that I'd probably look at. Alright, yeah, having more mana would probably be okay. We probably don't need too much mana, though. It's probably fine. Johnny, did I see Asmon react to the guy who griefed his guild? No, I haven't seen Asmon's reaction yet. I can imagine. We talked about that event a little bit earlier in the stream, so I know about what happened only because you guys told me. How the guy was, like, undercover with the guild. It seems like a story. It seems like a story. I know he did get the people killed. That part really happened. You know, there's obviously, like, proof that happened. Everything else to me, everything else beyond the fact that he got a bunch of people killed, everything else to me is a story. Stories are fun. Stories aren't always the truth. So yeah, and I haven't watched Asmon's reaction to it yet. I can imagine, though. Jason, I appreciate that, man. Thank you so much. That's super generous of you. Right, David. We don't know because all we know is what we were told by a human being. Yeah, that's kind of my point. You know, like no doubt he got those people killed that was effed up. You know, but the rest of it seems clickbaity to me. Honestly, it sounds like something meant to get me to go click on that video. It sounds like something meant to make me go click on Asmon's video. Like no, you know, it's like it all sounds rather made up. If it sounds like a Hollywood movie story, it's probably not 100% reality. And I'm very cynical about these things. I'm very cynical about anything that happens on the internet. So it could be all completely real. This dude could be completely psychotic. And, you know, he planned his life for years just to kill these people in a video game. It's possible. You know, he could be a complete fucking nutjob for all I know. I don't know the guy. It's much more likely that he fucked up, got a bunch of people killed, and then he made up some crazy story for the views. That's a lot more likely. Sometimes the more likely thing is the true thing, you know? The guy said he didn't, so who the hell is saying that he did? So now I'm more convinced that it's made up. If it isn't the guy himself saying that he did it, saying that he did it deliberately, if the guy himself is saying, no, look, I fucked up, then he probably fucked up. Raids are hard. I don't know why it would be harder to believe a guy saying he messed up than it would be to believe that he spent a year like totally controlling every aspect of his life and faking every single interaction with everybody that he interacted with just so one day he can get their characters killed. Like that seems a lot less likely than a guy making a mistake, you know? But I don't know the guy. Like I said, he could be a nut job. Who knows, really? Who knows? The dude has 30 different accounts. The guild is saying he did it. Yeah, I mean, they're people too. I don't believe them any more than I believe him. They're crazy enough to do a hardcore raid, so I know there's something wrong with them. Antonio, I hope the thing about him is that he was raised by a pack of wolves. I hope that's the thing. Damn it, it's not. Okay. He asked to take this specific boss to handle that specific mechanic, which was the only thing you need to pay attention to. Yeah. So you'd like, cause he was that specific, like he planned to F that up. Here's the thing, like even if he planned in that moment to F that up, it doesn't mean he spent a year planning it. It could be a lot more likely that he woke up in a weird mood that day and he's like, you know what would be really fucking funny? If I just got everyone in my guild killed. Like it could have been a spur of the moment thing, and that's a lot more likely. Even if it turns out he did it on purpose. Like it's a lot more likely that yeah, and you know it doesn't really matter. We're never gonna know whether the guy colluded in secret and like had like evil plans for a year. We're never gonna know that stuff.
What is it?
Oh damn, we got a green pouch. And we're gonna get rid of one of these black pouches. Yeah, the goal is to replace them. So yeah, I don't feel bad about that. I mean, it's all fun to think about and talk about, but that's kind of my point, is like, it's fun to think about and talk about. It like creates content on its own, and when something kind of like creates content like that, I have a hard time not believing that it was intended to. Right, Miles? I can't believe people even think about this stuff. Right. Kind of my point, yeah. Kind of my point. Like, I don't even see, well, yeah, it's like, what does it matter? What does it matter whether the guy planned it for a year and he did it, or he decided that morning while he was eating his Cheerios that he wanted to do it, or he literally thought he could do that mechanic better than anybody else and it just turns out that he couldn't do it. It doesn't really matter. What sucks to me is a bunch of people got killed, man. I hate to see hardcore characters die. I can't even watch the death reels because it's painful, because I know how many hours they put in. Well shit, we're done here. I think we're done here. Are we done here? It looks like we're done, yeah. We have delivery to Silverpine Forest, but I think we have stuff to square away back in Durator first. Let's do that. Yeah, YouTube and Twitch reaction videos have created a culture where people dissect things when there's nothing to dissect. Exactly. Tunerdale, yeah, I think that's exactly right. Did I not get the staff? No, yeah, if we got a staff, did I sell a staff? Tactical, did I vendor a staff? Yeah, I do a lot of stupid things when I'm just talking. I'm basically on autopilot. Antonio, but what would it change about like your thoughts or like what if you knew? Like I have a hard time with it because to me I don't really care what the guy did with his life. He's probably just some fucking loser with too much time on his hands, but he could be a great guy and a father of 3 for all I know. I don't know the guy and I don't really give a shit about him. That's kind of how I am. Like I find it really hard to care about people that I'm not interacting with at all. You know what I mean? Like if we're not in a place where we're having common interactions and like having a discourse of some kind, like I can't care about some random dude who did a random thing. Cause I'm never gonna know him enough to have a conversation with him to like even try to figure it out. The staff reward, yeah, no, tactical, absolutely just cause I was talking, man. Yep, that's a big L. Big L. It's okay, we'll get more staffs.
Do not seek death.
Big oof. Biss level 14 staff. You just missed it. Yeah. Character is seriously gimped. I might as well just delete him and re-go, you know. I don't even see what the point is to keep on. Is it impressive though? Cause listen to this. It's really fucking easy to lie to people when you're just in a guild with them. It doesn't take effort. He's not sitting around the coffee table with them every morning, having drinks with them every evening, laying in their bed every night. And there are people who lie to their fucking spouses for decades. It is not hard to lie to a guild of video game people about your intentions. You want to know how you lie about your intentions? One step. Watch this. You never tell them your intentions. Look at that. You won. You fucking win. It's not hard. It's not hard to lie to people in a video. You just play the video game with them. And you just talk to them about video game stuff. You guys are all just playing the game. The way you lie to them is by you never tell them what your intentions are. Thank you, honey. I appreciate that. My wife just brought me a delicious sandwich. It has bacon and lettuce and tomato and a pickle next to it. I'm going to have to go camera dark and eat it soon. But I'm going to finish my point first. And that was that, yeah, it's super easy to lie to people in a video game, man. It's just like, you just don't tell them what you're going to do. You don't tell them, you don't think about it, you just know you're going to do it one day. It's really easy. It's super easy. Yeah, it doesn't even fucking require constant malicious intent. The malicious intent you're going to put forth is going to happen in one moment. It's going to happen in the moment when you execute the plan. But like the rest of the time, it's not like he hated the people he was playing with probably. It's like he just had this plan. This is what he was going to do. And in the meantime, he was just playing the game. It didn't take effort. It didn't take planning. It didn't take anything. It was a guy who said to himself, one day I'm going to get all these people killed in a raid. And in the meantime, he kept keeping on, you know what I mean? It doesn't take anything. It's not special at all. I ran to Undercity because I got distracted. So here we are in Undercity. What do we want to do here while I'm here? I seem very experienced in the... Yeah, I'm experienced enough to like just... It's pretty fucking simple. Like if you want to lie about something, the easiest thing to do is not to talk about it to anybody ever. You don't lie by talking about it. You don't lie by even thinking about it very much. It's easy. It's not even... It's not even dedication. And the thing is, like, the dude didn't plan it for a year. You know what I mean? The dude did it when he did it. He decided... Or he didn't. And here we are. Here we are. The worst part is here we are talking about it. That's the worst part. Alright, what do we need to do in Undercity? Anything? Am I here for no reason? We could do some tailoring. Could do that. I'd have to go, probably get another pattern.
Goodbye.
Probably have to go get another pattern, and then maybe we could do some tailoring. Let's head that way. Asma needs less content. Yeah, I doubt he feels that way. I doubt he feels that way. And apparently, like, according to his views, humanity doesn't feel like he needs less content either. According to his views, like, you know, any Asmongold content is good content. If I had lots of time in my life, like in a vacuum that existed without any other people around or any other responsibilities, I'd probably watch a shit ton of Asmongold's videos. I just literally have limited time. Nah, it's not hard to get into Nax and do Nax. No, it's not for a WoW player, not for someone who's going to level a hardcore character all the way up and succeed at it. That's nothing for them. It's easy. Let's see. Yeah, I don't think it's as hard as you would think just to like have some stupid plan to disrupt people's game. It's really easy to do that. Oh, we got some robes. We need tailoring supplies.
I am forsaken.
Let's start with coarse thread. Yeah, I just will never agree that it's impressive to get people killed in a video game. That's not impressive. It doesn't matter how long you thought about it for. It's never going to be something that's very impressive to me. That's all.
This had better be good.
Let's see. Now you fool a bunch of people in real life of some like really insidious shit, and you fool a bunch of people that you interact with every single day for years and years and years. Then maybe I could be impressed. Like maybe you're some James Bond spy level shit. But like, you lied to people in your guild by not telling them what your intentions were, and you just played a video game with them for a year or so. Like, it's not very, it doesn't take a lot of effort. Here we go. Stam Spirit. Let's train that one. And Intellect Spirit. And then I think like, besides that, I really need something that's going to give us some skill ups easy. Well, yeah, where is the boots are green. Okay. What about this? Is this yellow? It is. Okay. So we need, this is 3, and then we need coarse thread. Let's make the rest of our bolts of linen cloth. Karen, good evening. Thanks for being here. Rod, good afternoon, man. Brock says, it's not impressive, it's douchey. Fucking absolutely. It's a lot more douchey to do that than it is impressive in any way. Yeah. Like, all you think when he does is like, what a dick. That's all I think. Like, what a dick. I'm not like, damn, he fooled them. Like, he fooled them because he was just a dick. They weren't like on the lookout for being fooled, you know? They were just playing a video game. Alright, what else do we want to make here? Do we want to do the 12? I feel like maybe we do the 5. What do I need for this? I need fine thread. Maybe I try to make these. Oh, light leather. Now we have this in the bank, so we're gonna go to our bank and we're gonna get that stuff. So we need some fine thread.
About your business. Embrace
and then we gotta go
shadow.
grab the leather out of the bank. And then we should be good. Maybe we'll stash the rest of the materials if we have any leftover mats. Fooling people for years, Bernie Madoff. I don't know who that person is, David. It sounds like a newscaster of some kind, or a politician. I don't watch a lot of human news. Gary, thanks for being here, man. I appreciate it. The only thing I'll spoil is that the Paladin's still alive. I have a pinned comment at the top, so yeah, he's doing fine. He's getting rested XP. He's not dead. Antonio. I don't exist in this. I appreciate that, man. I do appreciate that, but I don't exist in the same like sphere of reality that Asmongold exists in. Like, not mentally, not intellectually. Like, we're not on the same level. He's like pretty far above me when it comes to all that stuff. I don't think that like I would have anything to add to the discourse that he couldn't cover on his own. You know what I mean? But I appreciate that, though. To me, like, to think of me in the same arena with him, that's a compliment to me. Because yeah, no, I'm not, I'm not like at that level. I think dude has like a 300 IQ or something. If Asmongold contacted me and said, "Hey, let's chat," yeah, of course. He's a person and I'm a person. I've chatted with lots of people. You know, I've chatted with millionaires on a fucking elevator in a building that I had to go up each day, where they got to keep going up the elevator and I had to stop going up the elevator. So like, I've interacted with lots of people way outside of my ken. So it's not like a big deal. I just don't think like I would be able to add anything to the conversation that would be meaningful. That's all. That's all it is. I'm just gonna make more of these, and then, well, I probably should have just held the mats, but it's fine. Let's go here for the rest, and maybe we'll get the last skill point to 75. Maybe we won't. There we go. We got it. There's our new look. Without all the bones, we'd probably look pretty cool. I like casters in tunic and trousers more than I like casters in robes, but with undead, I feel like we have to wear robes because otherwise all of our bones show.
I am forsaken.
It's unseemly. Do we need to stash anything? I'm gonna stash some of the crafting stuff, and then I think we're good.
Beware the living.
We can learn this one now. Floopsy, I appreciate that. Ashman, we'll see you later, man. Thanks for being here. Alright, well, yeah, let's head out to the Zeppelin. I'll actually try to get us to the Zeppelin this time, and I won't walk somewhere completely random. Let's sell a couple things though.
I'm listening.
I could probably put the leather back in the mailbox. Or in the mailbox. Damn, don't touch the mailbox, Robert. I could put the leather back in the bank. Not the mailbox.
What now?
There we go.
Our time will come.
Part of me wants to go into Silverpine because I know in Silverpine we're gonna get a wand eventually, but it's from, I think it's from like a level 15 or 16 quest. But yeah, that's probably going to be like the time that we get a wand, because we have not gotten lucky with any wand drops. I'm not getting on that elevator. Absolutely not. I'm going to go camera dark for the Zeppelin right here, guys, and I'm going to eat this BLT that's awaiting me, because it's been sitting here this whole time, and I'm getting really hungry. So I'm going to mute myself. I'm going to go dark, and I'll see you guys when we're in Duratar, I think. 3-pound BLTs? Holy Guyver, that sounds like too much BLT, man. What kind of BLTs are we talking about here? A 3-pound BLT? Yeah. I think I just had like a half-pound BLT. Maybe not even a half-pound, but it was a lot. A 3-pound BLT sounds like a lot of bacon, or maybe a lot of bread. I guess the bread would probably be like the heaviest part. Where's that at? And what restaurant is it? Damn, Amy, that was quick. Did you already know about this place, or did you research this really quick? Either way, it's impressive. Tony's restaurant got bacon. Yeah, apparently they got bacon. Where's this at? Oh, it's near Flint. It's near Flint. That's why I don't know about it. That makes perfect sense. It probably is good. But you have to go to... Tony says a 1-pound BLT. Amy, that's not 3 pounds. But you have to go all the way to Flint to get it. Who wants to do that? Yeah, Flint is not the nicest of places in Michigan. But I guess having a giant BLT is sort of redeeming. Did I miss the Zeppelin, or did the Zeppelin literally arrive right as we left Undercity? It's in Birch Run. Oh, okay. Yeah, Birch Run, that's acceptable. It's not quite in Flint. As long as it's not like in downtown Flint. There's the Zep. It must have just got here like as we left Undercity. Oh, that orc I saw, he must have just gotten off the Zep. Thanks, Amy. Thanks for the BLT also. I appreciate that. It was delicious, by the way. You already know that because you had one too. Yeah, that is my wife. Yes, absolutely. Sorry. That's why she's a moderator. Yeah. Yep, she's my wife. That's why she gets to have a little gear, a little wrench next to her name. Mm-hmm. I'm married for 10 years. Yep. Tuner Dale, that's exciting, man. That's awesome. Amy, stop it. Ah, the corporate blood runs strong in you, my young one. Oh, God. You know you can't joke with people like that. You gotta go back to work now. Bye. Keep in mind, I mean, we both have offices downstairs, so she's like 12 feet from me. And she's not going to go away. She's still going to have the stream up, but she's probably going to have to pay more attention to actual work, yeah. She has the actual job, so she will have some actual things to actually do. Let's see. I never do this poison quest, Need for a Cure. I feel like it's like time. There's a little bit of running back and forth in the city. I think I do want to pop down here though and grab Lost But Not Forgotten. The last time I grabbed that one, I got it on like the first alligator that I killed. I don't know if we're gonna get that lucky again, but we can see. Can I go this way? I feel like I can go this way. I think it's gonna be fine. Did I say I might do dungeons? Yeah, I am going to do dungeons. Level 16, right? Level 15, level 16, but not right this minute. I think we have to wait. What level for DPS in Ragefire? Is it 15 or 16? Like when am I not going to get like laughed out of a group, basically, or like just not invited because I'm not a high enough level? Because yeah, I'll do a dungeon. I mean, I would do a dungeon right now. I don't have any of the quests, you know. That's the problem. Is like. The way it works right now is like I can only do it once. So like, if I could do it multiple times, I would do it right now. And then I would do it again when I got the first quest. Then I would do it again when I got the other quest. I would do it a bunch, you know. But like, yeah, right now, what sucks is like I would do it right now, but like I really ideally need to have the quests, and I don't have them yet. I don't even think I've been working on getting any of them. We haven't talked to Thrall. We haven't done anything in the Skull Rock Cave. I should probably do that stuff soon. Maybe we'll try to get some of that stuff done today. Maybe we'll get some of that stuff done today, and then maybe the next time we're on the Warlock, we'll be able to do a dungeon. Because that would be cool. When is the server going down? I hope it's not going down. It's a Thursday today, isn't it? I'm looking forward to being able to at least have them on a one-day cooldown, so I can do them, you know, once a day if I want. Because yeah, I would jump into a run right now. I'd worry about the quest later, you know, like if I knew I could do it like once a day. That part of solo self-found really sucks. Yep, I feel like solo self-found would be so much better if it also had the same 24-hour lockout on the dungeons the way the official servers are going to. I feel like that would make it much better. That way you have a chance to actually get some gear, you know? Flip, maybe you're talking about the PTR, man. I'm not sure. You're not talking about the Bloodsail Buccaneers server on the US East cluster, though. Because this server that I'm on is not going to shut down for a week. I don't know, maybe we're just talking about something else. That has to be the case, my man. Yeah, we're playing on Bloodsail Buccaneers server, US East. roleplay server where everyone's doing the hardcore challenge. That's where I'm at right now. And this server is not shutting down today, and it's definitely not going to shut down for a week. I can't say much with certainty, but I can say that much. Yeah, I figured you thought PTR. Yeah, see, I didn't know it was shutting down today. So that's cool. Yeah, so that's like, maybe people will come back to Bloodsail Buccaneers and we can do a /who. We can see more of the, there's some more people here than there were in Tearsfall Glades. Maybe Tearsfall Glades is not the place to be. Maybe that's all it is. The server type, Monica? No, I'm assuming that the server type, it'll probably be called hardcore or something like in the server type list. It'll probably be called like a specific thing. Yeah, we won't be on an RP server anymore. I wonder how like the RP people felt when the hardcore just kind of took over their entire server, or if there was a big role-playing community here to begin with. Is Hydraxian Waterlords, is the EU hardcore server, was that also an RP server? Tunerdale, I almost feel like they went with it because it was probably kind of empty. That's kind of what I always thought, that it was just kind of an empty server that they did it on, you know. Mercedes Lynn, we're just zone hopping, so we're gonna do both. So we'll be doing Silverpine and the Barrens the way we're doing Durator and Brill. We'll be jumping back and forth between the zones. Right now we finished up in Tearsfall Glades essentially. And so we're going to finish up here in Duratar, and then we're probably going to do some stuff in Silverpine before we head into the Barrens. But we'll be going back. Don't forget the skin. I'm already forgetting to skin so many things. It's been a tough one. Getting back into the habit of skinning has not happened yet. It hasn't been easy. After spending 200 hours on a character that did not skin anything, it's not easy. Hydraxian Warlords was an RP server. Okay, yep, so they did it, it seems like it was intentional. You know, maybe because there weren't a lot of other people leveling up, they thought, you know, an RP server could be a good place to do this. I'm not sure. But I often wonder if there were, like, roleplay communities, I wonder what they felt about all the hardcore people. Well, that answered my question. I was going to ask, does life tapping cause aggro? And yes, the answer is yes. Life tapping will cause aggro to build up. Absolutely. So the last time I did this quest, I got it on the first kill, which means that statistically this time we're going to have to kill 172 of them before I get the item. I can't loot this one or skin it. What exactly happened here? That was a little weird. I don't remember the last time that happened to me. Do you not usually see Tauren in Undercity? They don't go there? Fair. Yeah, I don't know the last time I saw a Tauren in Undercity, now that I think about it. Undercity was never like a very like desirable place to hang out. I feel like everybody only ever exclusively hung out in Orgrimmar. Johnny Hoover, have a good rest of your day, man. Thanks for being here. I appreciate it. We'll see you next time. Demon skin's gone. We're not skinning anything. This is I can't skin this guy because he's non-interactable. I don't know why. We weren't able to loot him and I couldn't skin him, so kind of a weird little situation there with that guy. Make a healthstone would be good. Yeah, having a healthstone in general would be like a great idea, seeing as how it's like, you know, something that could save us. I should always have one. Same thing with soulstones. I should probably always, you know, have a soulstone, but so far I don't have those reflexes. Let's get a soulstone now. Okay, and then we can make a healthstone. Then I can actually bind this somewhere. Here we go. Let's pop it over here. We haven't been doing a lot of bandaging anyway. We'll click that if we need to. There we go. Oh, you saw them. The important part there was the walking. Yeah, you mean like roleplay walking. That's freaking weird. Yeah, I don't know. Do people roleplay walk when they roleplay? Like, if you say, like, we're walking to Razor Hill, and you're roleplaying, like, to me that means you ought to walk it. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, to me, if you're roleplaying and you're traveling, you know, you should walk like this. Absolutely, you know. Especially if you're actively role-playing, this would give you time to like have interactions in your party and stuff. But doing it by yourself is a little bit weird, you know. Like if you were doing a role-play session with some people, like kind of like a D&D session, I could see you using like enforcing like the slash walk. But not if you're role-playing by yourself. That seems a little bit too much. But as I'm not really a big role-player myself in my later years, I guess I just really don't know. There's an achievement to only walk like that while leveling. Oh my god. Alex, you mean in the hardcore add-on or like an actual achievement in the game? Because that would that'd be awful. Oh look, hey, this guy's available for us to loot now. Oh, that was weird. It's like the loot came back. Could I roleplay a session as a Warlock for us? Yeah, sure, watch. That was us walking, role-playing. We were role-playing a walk. We were walking alone with nobody around, so not much for us to talk about in that scenario. But that's it, yeah. That's how I would do it. What a horribly masochistic achievement that would be. How does the add-on even track it? One moment spent off walk and like achievement over. Antonio, absolutely not. That sounds very difficult and probably wouldn't be any fun to watch. Oh, we got Kron's amulet, guys. At some point, we got the amulet even. Robert speaks. Take 2. We got the amulet. Let's head back. What is this guy? Conscript of the Horde. Okay. Oh yeah, yeah. So if you're trying to do that challenge, like you can only ever just walk away. You can't run away. You're gonna die. Yeah, you'll get killed. Absolutely. Like 0.0001% of people will be able to complete a challenge like that. It's heinous. Antonio, if I love Asmongold, but if I never make a video that Asmongold reacts to, then I'll have succeeded at making the kind of content that I want to make. If I never make a video that Asmon feels like he should react to, then I'll have succeeded at making only the kind of content that I want to make. If I make some content that Asmon reacts to it, then I feel like I've probably gone off the deep end, like something happened. Something happened at that point, because all my content is just very low-key. Even when I'm like ranting about shit, I don't have any like real fresh hot takes on anything that like anybody else can't figure out, so. Yeah, my goal is to go through my entire life without anybody ever reacting to one of my videos. That would be the ideal situation for me. More importantly, it's important for me to believe that these kinds of people don't even know that I exist.
Strength.
That's basically basically that's integral for me to believe it. This lady, she's between like coughing up a lung and being like grieved over the loss of her son. I don't really know where we were at there. There's something wrong with this lady, yeah. Something's not right. Something's not right. Oh, the weird music, Jason. Yeah, what the frick? Yeah, something's wrong here. Absolutely. What do we got going on here? Some pillows, some candles. She's got a book here. We don't know what's in this. Looks like demonic shit to me. What do we got? Some booze over here. A big bottle of Horde branded booze. There we go. Yep, that's the Horde brand right there. Yeah, I believe that something's not right. I feel like there definitely could have been more to it, yeah. Yep, why did she need the amulet back for real? What was he doing out there? You know, there's a lot of questions. There's a lot of questions here. Thankfully, there are 2 sleeping cots, so she's not making the whole thing up like she lived here with him, whoever he was, whoever she was. Because there are 2 sleeping hammocks, at least. If there was only 1 sleeping hammock, then I would have many, many more questions. But yeah, as it is, we're never gonna know. Alright, we've got Admiral's orders. I think we turn in Admiral's orders, and then maybe it tells us to go talk to Thrall. So maybe we do that as the way to start Thrall's quest going over in Skull Rock. Antonio, I mean people doing reaction videos to my videos, obviously. Obviously that's what I meant. Obviously people have a reaction when they watch me. A lot of times it's probably a negative reaction, especially if they're watching me play retail. But no, I specifically meant I don't ever want anyone to have a reaction video where they are reacting in a video to one of my videos. I don't want to become part of YouTube Inception, like Reactionception. And if I go through my whole career and like nobody ever knows who I am and they don't care about what I do, I'll be happier. One time Preach used a clip of one of my dungeon runs in his like top 10 favorite dungeons he did a couple years ago. He used a clip from my my first warrior. We did Shadowfang Keep. And since I always publish my vids in higher resolution, he used one of my clips, and that was cool. I liked that. He had put my name up there when the clip was on. I thought that was cool. Unless you've seen a clip of my priest Athos on a video from Hamster. I don't even know who that is or what a hamster wheel is. We had hamsters growing up as kids. We had dwarf hamsters, and sometimes my mom would put them in these little balls and let them like run around the house in the little balls, and the cats would chase them. That's all that makes me think about. So I don't know what a hamster wheel is, except for an actual hamster wheel. But that's cool. Yeah, I don't mind when people like use clips and stuff like that. They don't even have to contact you about it or anything. They don't even have to credit you for it. But a lot of people do credit you for it, but they don't have to.
So.
Antonio, they killed the lore for me, man. I'm sitting right next to this. Okay, so I have these books, you know, Chronicles. And like I used to read them sporadically, like all the time. I'd just crack them open and I'd like read. And then Shadowlands happened. And then Shadowlands brought out a new cosmology chart and a new perspective on the cosmology, which was cool. But what happened with me is like at that point, because of Shadowlands, I stopped caring about the lore, and I stopped caring about like I stopped caring about it basically. So that would have been a question that I would have really liked like a couple years ago. I would have gotten into that question with you. But these days, I feel like, you know, because of all the retconning and changes, and now we're talking about, like, the universe is different from everybody's perspective, basically. I'm a lot less interested in any of it. I would say I'd like to see the cosmic void explored a little bit more, but I don't know if I trust the writers to, like, come up with anything good anymore, you know? It's like, they could do some stuff in there, but, like, would it be any good? I'm just not sure anymore.
Farewell.
Alright, so now what? Now we go to Orgrimmar, we talk to Thrall. Okay, perfect. Let's go do that. Yeah, I wish I could care more about the lore. We'll see what Dragonflight does with the Titans and the dragons and the proto-dragons. We'll see how Dragonflight handles the lore, because all of this stuff is like, a lot of it has been established. And if they handle it okay, and if the lore goes in like a more interesting direction that I don't feel like is completely derivative and like just terrible, then I might start to care more about the lore again. I'd like to see like the light explored as an oppressive force. This is something like Beliar's talked about, the fact that just because something is like using the holy light, or is an agent of the light, it doesn't mean that they're not going to be bad guys. We saw that kind of in Draenor. I'd like to see that explored a little more. But yeah, it looks like now, like in the next big patch, we're gonna see some of the Emerald Dream. Looks like there's lots of Emerald Dream stuff coming, so that's the first part of the cosmos we're gonna get to see more of in probably 10.2. Mount up, Alex. You almost got me, man. I was like, oh, mount. I was like, no, wait. We're playing retail and we're playing classic and we're not on the pally, so I can't mount up. But I went for it. I went for my F6 button, which is generally where I keep the mount. So yeah, you got me there for a second, man. Yeah, seeing exactly, Paul. It started when the Naru tried to like take over Illidan. Yeah, absolutely. We were like, oh shit. They have an agenda, and it's different from Fel and it's different from Void, but it doesn't always align with the agenda of an individual mortal person. You know, who wants to have their free will. That was the thing about the light, is like, it was like you will follow the holy light, and to make sure that you follow the holy light, we will take away your will. That will make you a better agent of the holy light and better able to execute our agenda. And Illidan was like, no. Not okay. Tunerdale, it makes a huge difference. Yeah, you gotta get yourself a Logitech G600 MMO gaming mouse. Yeah, I don't have the Slack. Oh, there it goes. I do have the Slack. All these buttons, I can hit 6 of them effortlessly with my thumb, and those are the ones that you see bound to the shift keys. I have them bound to my function keys, rather. So when I'm hitting F1, I'm tapping all those on the mouse. It's really easy to hit any of them. I could probably get the next row, but it's really easy to hit the first 6 without thinking about it. And it completely changed the way that I feel about MMOs. They used to be a really big struggle for me, because I can hit tilde on my keyboard up to 4 or 5. But I was always bad at hitting like R unconsciously, or hitting any other key unconsciously besides tilde through 5. And so that really limited what I could do with classes. And when I found the MMO mouse, I was like, oh my god, it changed everything about how I play. And it made every aspect of every MMO much more enjoyable. And the Logitech G600, like, you can get those for like 30 or 40 bucks. I don't think they actively produce them anymore, but you can still find them on Amazon and stuff. I actually need to order myself like 3 more of them, so when they're completely unavailable, I'll have like a back stock of them, because I don't know what I would do without this mouse today. I could find an equivalent, but I'm so used to it. It's also a larger mouse, and I kind of have like a bigger hand, so it's just like everything about the mouse is better than any other mouse I've used. I've been using it for years now, and like, ideally, I'll never use any other mouse. Did we train level 14? I think that we did. Yeah, I was level 14 when we logged in today. We haven't done a lot of what's called actual playing of the game. We've done a lot of running around, we did some crafting, and I've talked a lot. But yeah, we haven't done a lot of actual playing of the game. So it seems like we should have to train again, but I'm pretty sure that we're good. Because I'm pretty sure we trained 14 last time. That's when we got that's when we got Drain Life, I think. Yeah, I think for right now, let's focus on trying to get the quest for Ragefire. Now, there's one of them in Thunderbluff, right? And there's probably one in the Undercity. Oh, I'm using a map mod. I'm sorry. I've never seen the map look this green before. I forgot that I'm using Leatrix maps, and I almost lost it. Let's see. Testing the enemy strength right here. There's 2 of them in Thunderbluff, so we're gonna have to make the run to Thunderbluff, which is fine. Okay, and then there's probably one in Undercity.
Loktar, friend. What is it you wish?
Alright, now we're going into Skull Rock. I should do the voice for the Warcraft audiobooks. That sounds like so much. People say that to me a lot. That I could do audiobooks. I might, you know, I don't think I can. I have a very specific voice that kind of works for the content that I do, but when it comes to like what those guys do in the audiobooks, like I don't know if I have that kind of range. Who did I not talk to? Admiral's orders. And also, the other thing about audiobooks is, damn, that sounds like a lot of work, man. It sounds like hard effing work to sit there. Because what's going to happen is, even if you're able to break into that industry from nothing, like, keep in mind, I don't have a big college degree, and I have no real background in that kind of work. It's a lot like acting work, you know? You gotta have an agent, you gotta know people in the industry and stuff. And so, like, even if I could do that job, I don't think I would, because it sounds like it'd be super hard work. And then, you know, like, a lot of the stuff you get when you're, like, beginning, you're not gonna get to read the Warcraft books when you start. You're gonna get to read, like, terrible, terrible books that you hate. And that's gonna be your life. Yeah. And I can't do fan fiction. See, Antonio, that'd be really cool. Like, I thought about it in the past, like, doing little narrated fan fiction stuff with like, in-game graphics, kind of. Like, doing stuff in the game, but then, like, narrating a little story over it. I thought about stuff like that way back in the day. And the problem is, like, with fan fiction, there's like a line that you can legally cross with fan fiction, where, like, if you're profiting off of fan fiction, you could be legally culpable for breaking a couple laws. And it really only boils down to if you get on a lawyer's radar or not. But yeah, you kind of have to be careful about, even if it's Patreon money, you have to be really careful about, like, accepting any money for what is equivalently fan fiction. So, like, if I was making up Warcraft stories and, like, narrating them and, like, doing the in-game recording and running around doing character stuff that was, like, similar to what was happening in the story, like, that would be really cool. That's still a lot of fucking work, also. It'd be really cool, but it also gets close to, like, maybe getting you into legal trouble if you're making money off of it. Especially if you're making ad revenue directly off of YouTube, or even Patreon money could be seen as you making money off of fan fiction, which you're not technically supposed to be able to do. Because, you know, corporations, ownership, intellectual property. All those words, man. All of those words. And I think that's stupid, but it is legally how it is. Yeah, like I said, it's something that I did think about a long time ago. I did a little bit of research to see like what the laws are about like making money off of fan fiction in any way, and people even agree that even just Patreon donations for stuff like that is like really iffy and probably just legally not worth putting your toes into. Because the worst thing that could happen is like if it's good and people love it and it pops off, and then you get a big old lawsuit and you got to stop anyway, you know. And that's what would likely happen. If it became something that was big and good and people liked it, then lawyers will hear about it. And when lawyers hear about it, they stop that kind of shit. Oh, Tukin, good afternoon, man. Yeah, I'm having fun on the Warlock. Absolutely. I don't know like how I feel about it compared to the other casters yet. Like I think Shadow Priest, or Priest in general, is still probably my favorite caster, but yeah, it's been okay. You know, I'm not a big pet class guy, so eventually it'll be pet control that gets me killed eventually, my lack of pet control. But it's easy to play because, you know, you dot things up, you can heal yourself, you got your pet tanking. So yeah, it's been fun. It's been a fun little aside to work on this guy, like, you know, and leave the paladin to rest for a little bit. It helps me a lot with the level 40s fatigue that we're suffering on that character. Tomorrow I think we'll pick the paladin back up. He'll have 3 days arrested. I think last time we played 3 days arrested got us through a stream. You know, we got through the stream, and then by the end of the stream we were out arrested, but we had rested XP for the most part. And that's kind of my goal, is to, like, when I'm playing the paladin, I want rested XP for the most part. Aaron, good afternoon. Today's going well. I hope your day is going well. They toned down the purple priest aura in retail in the last update? Yeah, I hope so. Tuner Dale, when I made the Warlock, I first went to make a Shadow Priest Void Elf, and I thought, like, how much more iconic can you get than a Shadow Priest Void Elf? And then I was in shadow form, and it was so smoky and foggy and purple, and I couldn't even see the silhouette of my character. And I hate how, like, the volumetric fog effects in WoW are. They're so graphically intensive. It's such a bother to have them at all, like. And so yeah, I couldn't make the priest. It sucked. But then I got on the Warlock, and the Warlock was fun. So, but yeah, I hope they did something. And I think somebody told me that there was a glyph that could help tone down the Shadow Priest purpliness in retail. But yeah. They need to we're in a cave. It's okay, we're here with Grakik. Grakik looks like he doesn't want to help us at all. So, what are you gonna do, you know? I should have dotted this guy up right away. Corey, that's awesome, man. Hey, it's a good time to be addicted to it, though. You know what I mean? Like, let's ride the wave, man, and have a bunch of adventures with it for as long as we can. That's kind of how I see it. It's not going to always be what we're doing, you know what I mean? Like, we're not always going to be doing this. But for right now, it's a blast. And yeah, we're in a cave, and like, sure, like, this is where people go to die. You go into caves to die. Absolutely. Yeah, but I think the official stuff's gonna be coming out in September though. I feel like for a lot of people, the official hardcore is gonna come out when they're like trying to go back to school and like be in school. That's what I think, because I think if it were gonna happen in August, I feel like they'd have said something to us. So I feel like it's got to be September at this point. Oh yeah, absolutely, Tunerdale. Like, yeah, they should take their time and do the right things. Absolutely. And I feel the same way about like the next season of WoW. You know, they told us that we're gonna get another season of Classic Era, similar to Season of Mastery, and same thing there. I don't mind getting that at the very, very end of the year, as long as they've taken their time and they've done it right. Yep, I'd rather wait. I'd rather wait till September anyway. In September, my kid will be back in school, and then like that'll free me up a little bit more like throughout the day. So. Baldur's Gate 3. I'm so looking forward to Baldur's Gate 3. Maybe it's next year's end of summer. Maybe. They said summer 2023, so what am I looking for in here? I need Lieutenant's thing, and then I need an item that drops off a name guy, maybe. I don't know if I'm going to be able to get that item off the name guy. He might be kind of hard to tag. Aaron, I'm sorry to hear that, man. RIP. But yeah, I mean the PTR is about to shut down. I think I heard that today was the last day of the PTR for a week. But I don't know if that was accurate or not, or if I was getting one guide. Yeah, I feel like that's how a lot of people feel right now, Corey, especially even about Bloodsail Buccaneers. I don't think as many people are starting hardcore runs right now because everyone's like in a holding pattern for the official hardcore. That's like kind of the worst thing the announcement did for the community, in my opinion, is I really wish they had waited on announcing official hardcore at all until they had an actual release date in mind. Because what happened is like, people who were loving the game mode just fine, they all got really demotivated to run new characters, I feel like. Like, honestly, guys, a few weeks ago, before the announcement, this would have been like 50 people. It would have been overflowing with people. And now it's not. So, and I feel like that's the worst thing they did for hardcore. My worry is that, like, people will go find other stuff to do, okay? And when people find other stuff to do, sometimes they stick with that other stuff, whether it's like classic era non-hardcore, whether they go back to retail, whether they go play Final Fantasy XIV. Like, I feel like it created a vacuum because they announced that we're gonna get official hardcore, but they didn't have a date in mind yet. It creates this vacuum of engagement where less people are likely to engage over time. And yeah, they say they'll be back. Oh, we'll be back. But like, you know, is it going to bring as many people back as if they'd have just left it alone? Because it was still growing. That's kind of the worst part. Is like before they announced official hardcore, every time we re-rolled, there were more people playing. Every single time we re-rolled, it was busier than before. And then they're like official hardcore, and everyone's like, okay, well that's done. So that's what's kind of sucked, honestly. I wish they'd have waited until they had a release date in mind. Then they could have hit us with it all at once. Tell us the rules. Tell us the release date. Get us super hyped for something that's like in the near future. But they told us back in the spring. Kind of screwed everything up. Yeah, even available tomorrow. Right. Yeah, they could have done anything besides what they did. What they did was they told us a long-ass time ago that sometime in the far-flung future we'd have official hardcore. A lot of people heard summer and they were like, it's getting warm out. It's summer now. And they didn't realize, like, well, summer goes all the way to September 20th, and it's much more likely, looking at Blizzard's other releases on their schedule, that they're going to release the hardcore more around September 20th and not July, not August. It creates an engagement vacuum, and anytime people step away from something, you have a chance of them just not coming back. So we'll see. It takes the momentum out of it, right? You had a thing that was growing, that was becoming this really big thing, that was revitalizing other forms of Classic as well. And it had momentum, and what they did was they just kind of killed the momentum. It's kind of unfortunate. Yeah, you're right, Alex. It even took them a long time to publish any of the rules. I forget when they announced it. Like, did they announce it back at the beginning of June initially? That it was going to be a thing? Or was it before June? Shit, it might have been like May. Yeah, I think it's going to be popular too. I honestly don't know if it's going to be as popular as like Bloodsail was right before they did the announcement. I remember how busy it was, like, and so we'll be able to tell once we get into the game. But the last thing you really want to do is, like, when you have momentum for a game mode, you don't want to do anything that kind of stops that growth. And what they did by announcing the official servers was they stopped the current growth. So while they could get a big uptick when official comes out, they might not get a big uptick. So we'll have to wait and see. But it's been kind of unfortunate because, like I said, right now you just see a complete lack of playership over like a couple months ago when this would have been 50 or more people. That's the part that I see. Yeah, I mean, I'm working my way back here to get to this name guy, but yeah, Jared, exactly. I was about to play hardcore, then I heard the official announcement. I decided to wait. Yeah, that's the unfortunate thing that I think happened to a lot of people. And what also happened is, like, let's say you just got a level 35 killed, and they've announced official hardcore, and you're a person that has only like maybe an hour a day to play. Yeah, you're not going to re-roll on Bloodsail Buccaneers. You're going to wait, even though you might have to wait 3 months, which is what it's turning out to be for a lot of people. You're going to be waiting the whole summer. You know, you're going to sit there all summer like, yeah, summer. Yeah, time to play some hardcore. Yeah, and then the servers are going to come out September 20th. It's going to be the last day of summer. And that's not going to be, you didn't expect that experience, you know? Yeah, I mean, Corey, you're absolutely right. That's the other thing is, like, people don't realize, like, you probably do have time, and you probably did have time because you'd probably get a few more characters killed, right? Like, so you probably had time, but like, you don't feel that. You don't feel that when you're sitting there with limited time in your day, and you know eventually these hardcore servers, you don't feel like it's worth your time to like get on the other servers, even though you kind of know that you're probably going to get killed at a lower level. You don't want to think about it that way. You want to think like, do I have time to get the character to 60? And that's just like normal optimistic thought. You have to plan for the best case scenario. It's hard to sit there and plan for the negative and still have fun with the experience. So like, while the reality is you could probably get like 3 level 25s killed before official hardcore, of course no part of your human brain wants to think of the experience that way. You want to be able to think, do I have time to get to 60 before the official servers come out? And for 90% of people, the answer is no. Even if the official hardcore servers come out in September, the answer for most people is no, they wouldn't have time. And so I think that line of thinking is what leads people to not rolling again right now, not rolling their first character in the first place right now. I think a lot of people are holding, and I think that's what Blizzard wanted. I think it's what Blizzard wanted, because think about the release timing of the recent retail patch, and like Blizzard has this thought that like a lot of people who play Classic will also play retail or do also play retail, and for some people that's true, but for a lot of people it's not. And so they think, hey, if we announce hardcore and get hyped for the game, but then we don't release it right away, maybe people will go check out our retail patch to tide them over. Now that they know they shouldn't roll again on Bloodsail Buccaneers because they don't have time, maybe they'll go check out the retail patch. There we go. And we don't need this. We're not here for this. We still haven't gotten the Lieutenant's Insignia, which was the main reason we were here to begin with, so... Did I see the duel to the death that Zeryu hosted? No. No, I don't watch those guys. I don't watch anybody who makes hardcore content for a while. Especially any of like the bigger people. You know, I have no interest in watching those guys do anything. The duel to the death, I think, is like probably one of the stupidest things that I've ever heard of. But I'm not a PvPer, so I always allow for the fact that there are people with a very competitive mindset, and that they enjoy games by being like super competitive against other players. I've never been like that, so for me, like risking a hardcore character on a duel to the death is probably the stupidest thing that a person could do. But I have to admit that like I'm not everybody, I'm not most people. But yeah, that kind of stuff, it doesn't really interest me at all. I'm coming out of here because the cave is kind of a cluster of F right now. And I kind of want the cave to like chill out a bit. People are running for their lives in every direction, and it's just not a good place to be. Yeah, there's no reason for me to ever like duel to the death. It's like, okay, I mean, only one person has come out alive. It's probably not going to be me, so. There's a Voidwalker here just hanging out by itself. I find that very, very unfortunate. I didn't know that they could hang out by themselves like that, actually. It's a little weird. Jared, yeah, you have time, man. You've got like 2 months of time. Think about it that way. If you're trying to figure out like, should I play hardcore right now on Bloodsail Buccaneers or Hydraxian Waterlords, the answer is like, if you're interested in the game mode, the answer is still yes. Because you're gonna have a lot of fun and a lot of journeys in the next 2 months. You know what I mean? Like, 2 months is a long time. Even if you only got like an hour a day to play or something, it's a lot of time. You know, play a class that you don't think you would normally play. That's kind of what I did on the Warlock as like an alt. I don't know how much time I'll have before official hardcore servers are out. So like if I'm playing alts right now on Bloodsail Buccaneers, I'm looking at classes that I wouldn't really consider normally. And that's kind of one way you could look at it. And then also keeping in mind, like, the experience in hardcore here on Bloodsail Buccaneers is going to be markedly different than the experience we get on the official hardcore servers, because here we can't group, we can't use the auction house, we can't trade, we can't do dungeons more than once. Like, we're solo self-found, so like it's ultimately like it's a different experience, right? So I still think it's worth doing, even considering we probably only have 2 months. It's still a lot of time. Yeah, exactly. You have the option to do whatever you want with it. Like, you could come back to it. You could keep doing solo. You could keep doing solo self-found on that character if it's still alive while playing the official, because that's what we're going to end up doing. By the time the official servers come out, I plan to have the paladin to 60, but then we'll probably have a character still alive doing solo self-found. Whether it'll be the Warlock or not, I don't know. But yeah, I'm not going to stop. If I get this character killed, I would go again. Like, I'm not going to stop going again until the official servers are out, basically. All I really need is the insignia to drop off of one of these guys. That's all I really need. Yeah, Alex, exactly. It's not like these servers will be closed when the official ones come up. Yep. Yep, these characters will still be here, and they'll be on a different version of hardcore than the one we're playing on the official server, so I still feel like it's valid. Do I want to jump down here? Probably not. Probably. Dude spawned down there this time. That's interesting. Yeah, I'd like to get down there to fight some of these guys. I just don't want to do it by jumping off. I guess I'll have to go around the other way. You could do a hardcore duo. You have to play at the same time, so you can't play without the other person. If somebody dies in the duo, that's run over for both of the people. You can't go from being a duo to just being a single. When you start the hardcore add-on up, it'll ask you if you're doing a duo. You can select the option for duo, and then you and your partner have to be playing together. Anytime you guys play, would have to be together. And that way you can trade with each other. So the cool thing about doing a duo is you can both take a complementary profession and you can trade with each other. It's the only time you can trade in the current hardcore is if you're in a duo. You can trade back and forth. So that includes like gear found, gear made. Red Robin, I'm getting a sty in my eye. Not the same thing, but it still kind of sucks. It feels better today, but yeah, yesterday I had a little sty growing on the underside of my eyelid. It felt like my eye was just like really, really dry, and then I like peeled the eyelid down and looked, and I'm like, oh yeah, that's a blocked tear duct or something. That doesn't look good. Alex, you think you should be able to replace your hardcore partner? No, hardcore partnerships are forever. You take like the lovers pact from Romeo and Juliet, you know? If one of you dies, the other drinks poison. Yeah, it doesn't really make sense, but so many of the restrictions in solo self-found don't make sense anyway. It's like, I never questioned it. It's like, yeah, my partner died, I guess I go stand underwater till I drowned. Like, I don't know. It probably really just has to do with the technical limitations of how the add-on tracks your character once you select to be in a duo. It's probably tracking you both together, and it probably doesn't have a way to then let you be a single player but not be marked as having failed the challenge. Yeah, it's probably a technical limitation of how the add-on works. That you can't replace somebody, and that you can't go on your own and still have it show you as passing verification. Yeah, it's probably an add-on thing if I had to guess. Jared Fair, it could be just the penalty for being able to play together, because you are getting a huge benefit by being able to group up with another player in solo self-found. So yeah, partially it makes sense, partially it doesn't, you know. It's just how the rules are kind of all arbitrary, so. Oh, did we ding 15? It feels like it's been forever since we leveled, but to be fair, we really haven't been working on a lot of quests today. Corey, as a developer, you think it would have been easy to work around it? Yeah, see, I have no concept of that kind of stuff, so you're probably right. Talent point, absolutely. Yeah, I kind of want to go into improved drain life, but I kind of want to go into life tap. Maybe we do 2 here and 3 here, something like that could work for me. I mean, I like suppression too, but yeah, increase the amount of mana awarded by your life tap by 10%. I feel like this is good. Let's do that. We'll do 2 here, we'll do 3 here, and then we'll think about moving on. Oh my god, it finally dropped. I was kind of starting to think it wasn't ever going to drop. But there we go. Hey, we did okay. We didn't even really have any scary moments in here, actually. We saw a couple people having a run for their life. You know what we don't see? We don't see bodies littering the floor. Usually in here you see bodies. Just player bodies littering the floor. Fair, I'm not out yet. I'm just like really overconfident. Alright, back to Thrall we go. Then we have to do a lot of running back and forth in Orgrimmar to talk to Niru Fireblade or whatever he is. And then I think there was one more quest over here for a guy that may be related to Ragefire, maybe not. Maybe I'm making that one up. I feel like there was a shaman over here in this area that we talked to, and then he's like, nah, this isn't shaman stuff, go talk to this Warlock. But maybe that's an unrelated quest to Ragefire. I guess we'll find out. And then at some point we have to get ourselves on the road out to Thunderbluff. We need to pick up a couple quests there, and there's probably at least one quest in the Undercity that we don't have that we need. Yeah, there it is right here. Yeah, that's it, right? That's Ragefire. I'm a lot fitter than your mental image of me. That's fair. Yeah. Yeah, I've been working out one way or another for the past 18 or 19 years. It's just like in the recordings, it doesn't come up a lot. You know what I mean? There's no reason that you would know. But to be fair, also the camera adds like 10 pounds of muscle mass. You know. I probably look like a guy who weighs like 215, but I weigh 195. When I started my workout journey, I was 6'4" and I weighed 150 pounds. That's right, 150 pounds at 6'4". I was basically just bones and sinew, essentially. And I still have the waist of like a 20-year-old. There's nothing I can do about it. How many cameras are you eating? Holy Guyver. That's funny, man. I like that. How many cameras are you eating? Floopsy, if I had to give up playing WoW or working out, I would give up playing WoW because I can find another MMO to play. If that was like life or death choice, yeah. You know, when you've been working out for as long as I have, it's kind of like a thing that your body needs you to do. It becomes a really deeply ingrained habit. You know what I mean? Yeah, dirty. That's how I was, man. I had to eat the hardest thing for me when I started working out was how much food I had to eat to gain any weight. Yeah, it was really, really hard. As I've gotten older, my metabolism has slowed down just a little bit. It's, you know, people always told me, oh, wait till you hit 30, your metabolism stops. Like, no, it fucking doesn't. not if you're me, apparently. It was a challenge. I spent like a year working out where I didn't know how to eat properly. I didn't know about protein. I was basically like wasting my time before I figured stuff out. Corey, I appreciate that, man. Thank you for saying so. Skinny to big is harder than fat to fit. You know, throughout my life, I kind of envied guys that were a little bit bigger and chunkier than me when I'd see people in the gym with like a very solid, blocky build. I thought to myself, damn, if I could have started with that, where would I be? That was when I was like powerlifting and trying to go for like maximum weight and stuff. I kind of always had that thought, like if I had started as a bigger person. But I think it's hard no matter what.
Strength.
I think that like no matter where you begin that journey, it's a challenge. You know, I think that a lot of people make the mistake that a person who is skinny is healthy, and that's absolutely hardly ever the case. Yeah, like I think people look at people who are skinny like, oh, well, they're healthier than a guy who's like really big, and I'm like, well, that's not necessarily true. There are different ways to be unhealthy.
Have you come to serve the Horde?
All right, now we have to run back and forth for a minute here. I think we talk to this guy. Yeah, Asmongold. Yeah, he's a skinnier guy, and he's probably not super healthy. Honestly, though, when I see him, he has a little bit more meat on his bones than I had when I started. I was skinnier than Asmongold. Like it was bad. Like the size of my arms then were probably the size of my wrists now. It was very, very unhealthy. I talked to, after I got fit, I would go to places where I used to work and see people I used to see, and they would look at me and be like, hey, it's good to see you looking well. We used to think you were really, really sick, like maybe you were dying of something. So yeah, I was skinny to a point where people thought I was dying of cancer, basically, and they didn't want to talk about it or say anything about it. And I would hear it later when they saw me and I looked more healthy and had bulked up a little bit. They'd tell me that. I heard it from a couple different groups of people. That was how skinny I was and how bad it was. Red Robin, a heavier guy could do that, but it'd be hard as hell to stop drinking all that soda and beer. It would not be an easy journey for that person. Nope, nope. I don't think, I'm definitely not a fitness guru. It's just that I've been doing it for so long. That's all. Even someone stupid like me, if you do it for long enough, you like learn stuff, you learn how to think about things a different way. But I'm not a fitness nut. No, I have plenty of unhealthy habits. Corey, thanks for being here, man. I appreciate it. Have a good rest of your day and be safe out there. We needed Nero. I ran right out of there. I ran right out of the cleft. Gotta talk to Nero, gotta talk to Thrall, gotta probably talk to Nero again. And then... question mark, question mark, question mark. Yeah, we could get a wand. Where would one buy a wand here? Would it be maybe in the Cleft of Shadow? Where we are possibly headed? How do I feel about the Warlock? I feel okay about the Warlock. It's, you know, so far, like, Priest is probably still my favorite caster, yeah, followed by Mage. so Warlock is still in 3 out of 3, but it's been fun. It's been, like, very kind of relaxing to have the pet and not really have to be in a lot of physical danger. But yeah, I'm still getting the feel for it. Yeah, we'll check out the wand vendor for sure. How much silver do... Oh, we have almost a gold, and we have some stuff to sell, so... assuming I can find the vendor, we should be able to pick something up. Warlock trainer. Let's check the trainer. I think we're fine, but we'll just have a look. Yeah, we're fine. I don't need either of these.
Go with honor.
And then the demon trainer, we should be okay. Pact of Blood is for the imp. That's for the imp. This is also for the imp. This is also for the imp. Okay, yeah, nothing for the Voidwalker yet. Look for Katis. Well, I got him targeted. Now I just gotta find out... Oh, there they are. Perfect.
What are you looking for?
There we go. That's the Smoldering Wand. That's what we want.
Farewell.
Now, where am I going to put it? I think we're going to go here. Should be fine for now.
McGraw, be safe.
Yeah, just skill up the wand. Yeah, definitely. We'll just fling it out a couple times. You know, we're not going to rely on it right away to kill anybody. We'll hit them with it. We'll let the dots tick down. We'll hit them with the wand, and eventually we'll be leveled up in no time. It's not going to be as hard to level up as like if you're on a priest and you're actually kind of like needing that damage to go off. But we're not really going to need the extra damage to go off right away, so we should be okay.
Are the Horde!
Then we got to talk to him, let him do his spiel. Let's click through that. Okay.
Victory!
Alright, he's done for now. I think we go back, we talk to Thrall one more time, and then maybe Thrall sends us out on another quest. Maybe we get the quest for Ragefire. Raphael, it's really not. It's not enjoyable to go enchanting every time for the best wand. Yeah, it's not. It's not, well, on hardcore it's not because you can't keep enchanting, you have to drop enchanting. That's why right now it's not. Otherwise I would probably go enchanting and I'd be fine with sticking with enchanting, you know? Enchanting tailoring sounds great. The problem right now is like if I go enchanting I can make the greater wand and then I can't do anything with it after that. I have to drop it for skinning anyway. So you know, and I don't know if we were on the official server and we could use the auction house, then like tailoring enchanting is probably a pretty good way to go. Because I think there's a wand you can make beyond the greater wand, but you need an item from blacksmithing to be able to get your enchanting to that point. And the way things currently work, unless you're in a duo, you can't get that item.
Loktar, friend. What is it you wish?
Alright, I did not see where he sent us. Maybe he gave us the quest for going into the dungeon. Now, there are 2 in Thunderbluff and 1 in Undercity, right? And then after that, we should have all of them. So yeah, I guess the next part of our trip here, guys, is going to take us over to Mulgore. What we'll do is we'll make sure that we grab flight points on the way. We will make sure we get the Crossroads flight point. We'll make sure we get the Taraho flight point. And then, of course, we'll get the Thunderbluff flight point as well. We're going to need them all anyway. As far as weapons, I don't think there's anything in Thunderbluff that we need to train from their weapons master, unless I'm like forgetting something. We have staffs. We have what else do we have? Do we just have staffs? Staffs and daggers right now. Ugh, this chair is killing me today. It's just one of those bad posture days. I can't get comfortable in my chair. I feel like I need like a lumbar pillow would probably help me be where I need it to be. So I don't have to worry about the Voidwalker for a little while. Basically till level 20. Awesome. Well, that's good. Speaking of the Voidwalker, I don't have a Voidwalker out right now. Which would mean I had to find somebody that granted experience in order to get a soul shard here. Maybe we'll find somebody in the Barrens to fight. That's a good idea. Yeah, I should have some kind of pet out. Even if it's not going to be the Voidwalker, it's going to have to be somebody. Here we go, this one will be easy. Grab blood pack for the imp though. Yeah, am I gonna want the imp out in dungeons? Man, I thought I'd keep the Voidwalker out just to help keep the group safe, but yeah, I could have the imp out, I guess. Blood Moon, yeah, I did. I did grab the flight point in Org. Not this time, but the first time we went there, I did. Yep. Not common of me, but yeah, we did remember the first time. So we should be able to fly back from Thunderbluff, basically. Alex, the sacrifice is at 16? Okay. Johnny, you haven't missed much, man. We went into Skull Rock. Okay, so you missed Skull Rock, but we lived, so that's really all you need to know about Skull Rock, is that we came out of it alive. And now we are about to do the most exciting run over to Mulgore. So we have a couple of the Ragefire Chasm quests. We need to get 2 more from Thunderbluff, and then we need to head to the Undercity to get the last one. I'm gonna grab one more shard off of this guy. And then we'll get the Voidwalker back out. The Voidwalker says, I don't like this place. Oh, fair enough, man. That's how I feel about the planet Earth when I wake up sometimes. I roll over and I say it just like that. I don't like this place. I like that being here makes him feel uneasy. Like, he's clearly a creature of the void. Now he's in the physical realm. He's like, yeah, I'm not digging it. I don't feel right. I'm telling you that there's something we missed, because there's a quest involving this guy. Something to do with this guy and like a peak in the middle of the zone or something, like maybe here or here. I remember something with this guy. I thought it was related to Ragefire Chasm because of all like the demon stuff, but maybe not. Max, this area hurts your eyes? That's sad, man. This is like one of the prettiest places in the game. I love the Barrens. Is it too bright? It looks a little bright, but it also looks okay. How about that? It's a little bit more mellow. Leo, you're having lupper. It's like dinner. It's like supper and lunch combined. I always get confused between the difference between like supper and dinner. To me, like dinner is a meal that happens in the early afternoon, and supper is a meal that happens around like 7 or 8 p.m. I knew a family once when I was really young that they had dinner and supper, and they took them in a certain order, and I can't remember like which order they took them in, but for me, like dinner was always the earlier afternoon meal, and then supper would be like a later afternoon meal. It reminds me of like hobbits, you know, like 3 different lunches. You have breakfast, brunch, lunch, dinner, supper, midnight snack. And then 17 snacks between all those other meals. Yeah, exactly, like a hobbit. Yep. Yeah, but that's what they did. They had lunch, then they had either dinner, and then they had supper. They had four meals. And like in my family, we had 3 meals and then snacks. So that was always, and we didn't have a lot of snacks when I was a kid. You ate your meals because otherwise you might be hungry for a little bit. But yeah, they had 4 meals. I always thought that was interesting. Max, you don't know anyone who says supper other than your grandma. Yeah, fair. It's not. I don't think it's commonly used anymore at all. It was never very commonly used in my life. Like, we didn't have supper in my family. We had breakfast, lunch, and dinner. But I knew a family who had breakfast, lunch, dinner, supper. So for them, there was a time distinction regarding like what time of day the meal took place. I feel like they would do dinner around 3:30 in the afternoon, and then supper would be something that happened around 7:30. Like later in the evening than you might expect. I don't know if they are different for everybody. That's the thing. It might have been my one experience with this one family who just happened to do it that way. So that in my mind, they were always different meals that happened at different times, even though I didn't have a dinner and a supper. But these days when we have dinner late, I will call it supper. Just as like a tribute to that. Supper is still around in the South. We use it a lot for the evening meal. Right, and up in the North, we just use dinner for like basically any meal that happens in the late afternoon or evening. But I feel like that's not fair. Yeah, I feel like it's okay to have different names for different meals that happen at different times of the day. I think having a dinner and a supper would probably help with like frequent snacking. Like if you didn't want to frequently snack, having 2 afternoon meals could help. They say you're supposed to eat smaller, more frequent meals anyway. That like the 3 big meals a day isn't really great for the human metabolism, it turns out.
What do you need?
We know so little about our bodies. Like we get into our bodies and like nobody fucking knows the best thing for them. For a while you're told like 3 square meals. Later in life you're told like smaller meals more consistently. Sometimes you're told you should fast. No one really knows anything about like the human body or how to fucking maintain it. It's like everything changes over time based on people's opinions of what we should do. The 3 meals a day fits right into corporate culture, because if there were 4 meals a day, then you'd have to have 2 half-hour breaks from your job. You'd have to have a half-hour break for lunch, and you'd have to have a half-hour break for dinner, and then breakfast and supper would be on you. But the reason that we stick with the 3 meals a day is because it fits really good into the enforced labor, like ever since industrialization basically, but now into the corporate era. It fits a lot better with making people work 8 hours a day when you only have to give them a break for 1 meal. So yeah, flight point, did I grab it like without thinking about it, or did I not grab it at all? That's the question. Tim, good afternoon, man. Welcome to the stream. I didn't grab the flight point. Of course I didn't. Supper after 7. See, that's super late. I probably don't need to pick anything up here, so yeah, we don't pick up any quests right now. We should just keep going. Carrie, good afternoon. Welcome to the stream. Thanks for being here. Yeah, see, we only have the 1 evening meal, and it varies drastically depending on like when we feel the ambition to put the meal together. I say we do pretty well for like breakfasts and lunch. We don't lack motivation for breakfast and lunch, but honestly, once we get to like the late afternoon after my wife's off work, and like usually I'm done recording or streaming by then, We don't have a lot of ambition for like that late meal, unfortunately. It's like, yeah, we put something together, you know, something comes together. But like, I feel like more and more, like especially recently, it's harder when like the kid's home from school, like because then you feel like you have to produce more actual meals throughout the day. Like you can't forage just for yourself, you know. So you do feel like you're putting together more breakfast, you're putting together more lunches, and then by the time dinner comes around, it's like, don't really have a lot of effort for a big production right now. I want like nutrient paste. I want like pouches of nutrient paste to be fed to me. Like the prison in the show Andor. If you watch Andor, when he gets put into the prison, spoilers, shit, Andor spoilers. If anybody cares, yeah, he gets put into a prison. Then in the wall, there's like this nutrient paste that comes out of a tube, and they eat it from the tube. And I'm like, yeah, that's basically what I want for like my dinner meals. Zero effort, just all the nutrient you need in a tasteless paste. A tasteless paste, or just like, you know, remember like sensu beans from Dragon Ball? Like, I just want a fucking sensu bean every once in a while, you know? Jason, yeah. No, my wife is really awesome about bringing me food during the stream and stuff. Yeah, absolutely. You know, she works from home too, so she's able to get up, step away. She's not tied to her desk or anything, so. Yep, I'm really lucky. I'm not good at foraging. I forage, I'll grab like a protein bar and a yogurt, you know. I'm fine with that. If it were up to me, like I wouldn't put a lot of actual food into my body. It would be like egg noodles, plain spaghetti noodles, bread, cheese, protein bars, yogurts, and milk. And that would constitute like 80% of my diet if it were just left to me. Llama spread, yeah, llama spread, man. Better than sensu bean, because like the llama spread is bread at least. You get to like taste a bite of it. Yeah, I think like, yeah, having just like an instant source of about 1,000 calories would be good. Yep. Yeah, I need like super granola bars. I need a granola bar that has like 500 calories in it. So I can just eat it and then I can be done eating for a while. Just chuck fatty meat and vegetables into a pressure cooker for dinners. It makes it easy and tasty. Jared, I'm not sure about that. You didn't sell it very good. You use the word chuck. To chuck, where I come from, means to throw it out, basically. Like it's garbage and you're gonna chuck it. You didn't sell that one to me. I imagined the fatty meats and veggies being dumped into a plastic garbage bag and swung around and then stepped on. And then we pull it out and eat it. Yeah, my visualization there was a little bit off. All because of that pesky word chuck. Sorry to any actual Chucks out there who are named Chuck. You are called a word that means to toss in the bin. Llama spread. It's different, yeah. They grind up the llamas, and then it makes a paste that you then spread on your bread, and that's llama spread. Yes, llama spread. Sounds just as good to me. Llama spread is a new thing. Absolutely. Yeah. Don't think about it too much. But it does involve grinding up llamas. In a pressure cooker, probably, right? We chuck the llamas into the pressure cooker. We leave them in there for a while. Then we grind them up the way they grind apples for apple cider. In one of those big things. And then we have llama spread. It has a surprisingly woolly taste to it. I don't know. Shave them first. For God's sake, shave those llamas first. The vegans will hate that. Yeah, we won't tell the vegans. We'll tell them it was made out of beans. You know? We'll get them eating it before they know it, before they know what's happening. So with the recent retail patch, they extended the distance you can see in the old world zones, and I really wish they would extend the distance I can see in the classic client. I want to see all this stuff back here. The game engine is capable of showing it to me, and my computer's capable of rendering it. I really wish they could do something in classic era to lift some of the view restrictions on how far off we can see in the distance. Because they did it to the Cataclysm zones. They changed the way lighting works in retail in all of the old world stuff, so that lighting works the way it works in the Dragonflight content. And part of that is opening up the view distance immensely. And I just wish they would open up the view distance a little bit more in classic era. I don't know why I thought I'd be able to just run past everything here. Stuff is kind of at our level. Oh, I can shoot this guy now. Where did I bind that to? There it is. There we go. Let's level up the wand a little bit. Maybe that's what we can do as we venture towards Thunderbluff. Maybe we level our wand up on some of these guys that are basically not a threat to us. Llamas identify as vegetables. Yeah, they don't have any seeds inside of them, and so they're not a fruit. And so what we determined is that they are actually vegetables. I feel like it's fair. Nobody say anything about the paladin. I want to see if the pinned comment is ever visible to anybody, because I think that the pinned comment is useless. but nobody talk. I think that the pinned comment should appear right down where you type in chat. Like when you first come into the stream, a pinned comment should be right above where you type. That's where it should appear first, because then people would actually see it. But how it puts itself at the top, and depending on how long it is, you might not even be able to see all of it. It's like the pinned comment's kind of useless. Yeah, and it's like nobody can see it. It's not in the place for like maximum visibility when you join the stream. But if it appeared as the first thing to come up right above, like I want it to be right above the chat input for like at least a second. For at least a second before, then I want it to scroll itself to the top, you know, but I want it to appear somewhere that's going to be more visual, because that way people would go to type the question, and then right where they're going to type the question, they would see the answer to it. And I think that's the only way that it would be super useful. Or if like it flashed at people a lot, if it had like some kind of wacky like flashing alert on it that kind of like drew your eyes up to the top of the screen, that would be cool. Yeah, if we could make it shake the box, do you think they'd still miss it? Probably. Yep, that's probably true. Binkin, it's easy to miss, man. I've had so many people don't see it. Yeah, it's like a running joke now that the pinned comment is basically useless because of how many people just miss it. Yeah, the first episode I did on the Warlock, I actually had it in the title of the episode, and people still came in and asked. Oh, that's the other thing, Tactical. I should have put not the PTR. I've already had, I fielded that a couple of times. People came in just assuming I was on the PTR, and they were like, wait, doesn't this shut down today? And I was like, what? No. Yeah, but after today, I think the PTR is off for a week or something after today, so we shouldn't really have to field that one much after today, because it'll be offline for a while. Yeah, Lael, I used to think that too, and then I realized something about the PTR for retail. I realized that the reason why a lot of people get to engage with the PTR, they engage with PTR in retail so they learn about all the stuff that's going to be in the game so that they don't have to like struggle like I did upon like release of the content. Like if I had tested the PTR for 10.1.5, I'd have known how the time rifts work. I would have known where the story quests were for Chromie. I would have understood like what was new content, because like each week in the PTR they add new stuff in, so you kind of know like what you're testing. So like yeah, it's unfortunate it's free labor, which sucks, but I realized finally like why so many people do it, especially in retail. Like if you play the PTR for retail, when the game content goes live, you're in a really good position. You know where everything is, you know how everything works. You're not sitting there waiting for Bellular to put his video out on day one. You can just go ahead and jump into the content. So like yeah, I hate the idea of like testing something for free, but I also kind of like the idea, just, you know, not for Classic because they're not adding a lot of stuff on the PTR. It's just about how like the rules change. So I don't understand it for Classic, but for retail I kind of get it now after my experiences the other day, trying to figure out 10.1.5. And so yeah, the Blizzard has created a perfect position where like the game is confusing enough that like people who want to know what's going on early will get on the PTR and test it, so that when the content comes out, they're ready to just do it. And so they've kind of made it so that the game is a little bit incomprehensible. And it does kind of incentivize people to get on the PTR and see things as they put it into the game. Yeah, for hardcore I'm not going to do it, but honestly, when the 10.1.7 PTR goes up, I'm going to spend a little bit of time on it each week. And I'm going to check out what they're adding to 10.1.7, because when that content comes into the game, I don't want to feel how I felt with 10.1.5. I don't want to be standing like, okay, where's the new thing? What's this? Is this new? Like, I don't want to have those pain points again. So yeah, they've created the perfect way to get people to test their game for free. It's called don't really explain shit in the game. Don't really explain the new content in the game that much. Let people figure it out on their own. That will drive people to the PTR so that they can do the figuring out part when it doesn't matter. And then when it's live, you just go, go, go. I think that's why people do it. Will I be ending the stream with fishing? Only starting the stream with professions. Yeah, we're gonna start the streams in hardcore with profession stuff. The end happens randomly whenever I decide. Yeah, it just comes out of nowhere at you. Justin, a ton changed with Dragonflight in regards to UI. They have a whole new UI in Dragonflight, yeah. Like the entire UI was remade, and they've been iterating on it since. So like, not only was it remade, they've still been tweaking and changing lots of different parts of it, which is cool to see. Razuro, hello, good afternoon. Thanks for stopping by the stream. I hate these walkways. I hate these walkways because I know too well that this little rope thing, that's not a barrier. It's not going to stop you from falling. It's a ramp. It's a ramp that's going to propel you right off the side of this thing. It's like a big trap. I get really uncomfortable on these bridges. It's the only time in hardcore when I'm slightly uncomfortable. Oh, this is down below, right? Maybe, potentially, I don't know. No, I don't know where the hell this is. Is it in the tent here? Okay, it's right over here. Robert, just look around a little bit, man.
Greetings. Be careful. Hail. Farewell.
Okay, there we go. And that's it for here, right? That's all we need to pick up here. We have this over here until death do us part. This is just, it's a breadcrumb to Silver Pine. We don't really need it. Other than that, I think we are good. Let's jump on a flight back over to Orgrimmar. Yeah, we're definitely we're taking a flight, so we are gonna get the flight point. We're gonna have to get the flight point because we're gonna fly back to Orgrimmar. Fishing cooking recipes? Maybe. Oops. Uh-oh, I've moved them. There we go. I moved the map and I can't move it back. We could check. It looks like it's going to be out on the main plateau. Or not. Yeah, I love navigating this place. Oh god, it's so good. I hate navigating this place. It's so bad. Is it up one more rung? I don't know. Okay, yeah, maybe here we go. That's the level that we wanted. Level 3. I need an elevator with buttons I can push. Let's see. I think we have this one. Sagefish. Okay, yep. There we go.
The eternal sun shine upon
Sagefish. We've had sagefish too, and I've sold them. We should be good on like all the basic fish now, right? All like the low-level fish. I think we should be good. Mr. Jackpots, it's going well, man. Thanks for being here.
well met. Ancestors watch.
Alright, guys. I'm going to take it back to Orgrimmar. And I'm going to stop here for today. This seems like a good place for it. We've been at it for 3.5 hours. We didn't get to do a lot of questing today. Maybe we'll be able to focus up a little bit more next time. But next time we're on the Warlock, I want to run the dungeon. So next time we will get the quest from Undercity. And then we should have all the quests for Ragefire. And then we'll do Ragefire. And we will see if we survive. But that will be next time, guys. Thank you all so much for being here today. I really do appreciate you guys showing up and hanging out with me. It's always an awesome time. So yeah, thanks a lot, and we will see you next time. Now tomorrow, we're going to probably jump on the Paladin, so if you were wondering about the Paladin, you want to see the Paladin, look for the stream tomorrow afternoon, and we will be on the Pally. Until then, thank you guys again, and take care of yourselves out there in the real world, and take care of each other. And we will see you back in Azeroth again very soon. Bye for now.